Welcome back to this week's episode of the Guile Treatment. With me, as always, is this man, Rob Schneider. And then this man joining us down in the corner, if you're watching the video, the reigning, defending UK Canadian teams, Canadian national champion. Did I get them all? Don't remember, but it's Kevin Broberg.
There was several of them anyway.
There were several of them.
Hi, everyone.
I guess this one may be a little shorter on the news and information side and more about the cool, awesome guys over here, the Mortal Kombat stuff. So we got Rockford PTC this week. My favorite PTC of the year, no bias whatsoever. Here at Top Cut Comics South in Rockford, Illinois. Glorious, beautiful Rockford, Illinois with 100-degree heat right now.
I think that's pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, it's true. Then after that, we're going to talk about, Kevin brought up a top 5 list of the Mortal Kombat spoilers. So instead of going over every one of them, which he did on his other show on Top Deck Heroes, we're going to go over like our 5 favorites. So yeah. Okay, so Rockford PTC, boys. It's a 4th year, I think, maybe, right? You guys have both won it once, I believe, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I think
the
someone else.
third one I'll be at.
Yeah, because Kevin won the first one, I believe.
And then Slam won.
Then Slam won.
That's right.
And
Yep.
then...
The only event that Dimitri ever won.
Yeah. Then Rob won last year, so this year's the 4th year. Yeah. So we are expecting 50+. I'm planning for 50+. It was going to be 60+, but... a lot of guys from Omaha had to drop out at the last minute, so I guess only like 4 or 5 people are coming. So there goes my 60+ PTC, and then my fight for cardboard one day. But anywho,
I mean, I think like 60. If you hit 60, I think that might be a PTC record.
If
Jason,
you hit 64, isn't that like 7 rounds?
Jason said that the highest Jasco era one was 45, and we hit 40. Yeah. And we hit 41 last year. So I think we're gonna blow 45 out of the water personally, but I
guess the next one would be what, 72?
I think
64.
No, 64, yeah, because 32 and then 64. Yeah.
We don't count.
They might do a screwy thing where it might be 48 and then something else after 48, but
yeah, I don't know.
It might be 48, 72 actually.
Yeah. Would 72 cut top 16, or is that in the hundreds?
It should be never.
Yeah,
Well,
I understand that.
Be
I know
a lot.
Yeah, it should be like over. It should be easily over 100, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So, day 1 is technically Friday. We got some fun stuff to do, like go and drink and eat, all that fun stuff. Swiss rounds. Registration starts at 9:30 in the morning.
I built a cube.
Yeah. Registration starts at 9:30 in the morning, ends at 10:30. First round starts shortly after that. We're going to look to power through the rounds. I'm expecting...
Do you plan to start on time, Chris?
Yeah, I do. The only person I know that we may be held up for is Hayden Scott, because he lands at 9 o'clock in Chicago. So, if he's coming. So, he said he's coming, but he may land at 8:30, 9 o'clock in Chicago, and then drive. And he's supposed to email me his deck list if he's coming. So I can type it out and get everything ready for him. So all he has to do is sit down and play. So...
All right.
But yeah, I'm hoping we hit a lot of people. I mean, not like punch people, but hit a big number of people. And we'll have a stream. So we're gonna hit a lunch break sometime, but we're gonna hopefully power through as much as possible, because day 2 is the greatest event of all, Robot Masters version 2.0.
Oh yeah, I should build a deck for that.
You should. Because everybody's getting to playing it, because it's not going to start until top cuts are over. So
I'm like so worried now that I had to like change my... I like literally took the last possible flight out of Chicago on Sunday.
Yeah.
So that I could like maximize my chances of being able to finish Robot Masters if I could.
Because I'm going to hold you to that when I take 3... When all my matches take 3 hours in top cuts.
Oh my god, come on, Kevin. Because Rob did not get to play in it last year because he won, so we are going to...
Well, I mean, honestly, like, this year it's my fault, so, you know.
Yeah, well...
I mean, I guess last year was my fault.
Well, you can still play in it, and then, like, you know...
Yeah, I'll just drop.
Just drop, you know, whatever. It's just a fun side event with a playmat that's the Masters
Do you have that one?
No, it's downstairs in the basement. So
This guy.
I also have two.
So,
Amateur hour.
Yeah, I know. I'll put it up in post. I have it somewhere on my computer.
Yeah, there we go.
I have two copies of that mat. One is for the winner of the Robot Masters event, and day one on the PTC we're gonna have a raffle. It's $2 for a ticket, $6 for 10, right? Yeah, $10 for 6 tickets. There's gonna be a bunch of prizes, play mats.
That'd be a pretty good conversion rate.
Yeah, that'd be nuts. There's gonna be 2 foil Fei-Feis, a booster box of your choice, non-platinum, obviously.
obvious.
Promos. Like I said, Rob's bringing the first Rockford PTC mat that he had an extra of.
I'll dig it up. I got it somewhere.
Okay, and then we're gonna have every mat so far as a prize pack, so you get 3 of the Rockford mats, and then the grand prize, my card from the Giant Card spoilers. The winner, overall winner, gets that.
Nice.
So, you know what's the cool part about that is you're gonna get a misprint Giant Card.
Why is it misprinted?
Because yours is an E.
Yeah.
And it had, like, if you've seen the picture they posted on, like, the official Facebook page, they edited it to an R.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. Oh, shit. It's worth tons of
Which
millions of dollars.
The, like, Return to Antarctica or something?
Yeah, Retreating to Antarctica.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I didn't know that. I didn't know they went back and changed it to an R. That's neat. Misprint.
Yeah, I was actually surprised by that when I was looking at it. I was like, hey, this is better than I thought it was.
Yeah. So grand prize gets that. All the draw, you have to be present to win the card. Everything else you don't have to be present for. But the store said that if you if you fly out and you win it, you pay the store, they'll ship it to you. So that's cool.
Okay.
So Stefan offered to ship it to whoever wins it, if it's out of state or whatever. So that's
didn't drive.
Yeah. So that's another little side game, and then the Robot Masters. So after that's all my spiel about it. And pre-register, you got till Friday to save yourself $5. So unless you want to pay me $5 more for the event, and I'm okay with that as well.
There's lots of ways to pay Chris $5.
Yeah, there is. There's plenty of ways. So what do you guys? I know like the meta has been dominated by the Bebops and the Beep Boops and the Spikes and the Mad Perros of the world. Do you think it's going to be more of the same, or do you think that I guess the Rockford meta has been a little slower than normal sometimes, because it just seems like it's usually a little slower around here because us Midwesterners.
I expect to have fun.
That's good. I hope so. I hope everyone has fun.
I mean, honestly, like, if you have that many people coming, like, I think you're still going to see a lot of Bebop and Top Cuts.
I think so too.
By sheer volume. Yeah. I mean, the thing is like, you're still going to have people that are coming that, like, either are basically there that are like, well, I came to this PTC, I want to win it, so obviously I'm going to play Bebop.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could even have people that, like, haven't had that much of a chance to play with Bebop, and they're like, oh, this is my opportunity. So, I mean, there will definitely be people that are sort of like, I've played a ton of it, I'd rather play something else and, like, try something different. So we might see some more decks, like, Jeremy's, like, Runica deck. There might be, like, maybe I would say, like, 2 or 3 of those in Tops, but, like, I fully expect
your B-tier characters with decks that are packed full of Bebop attacks and Bebop foundations.
Mm-hmm.
How it goes these days.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the Bebop stuff is just too good to, like, unless literally no one is playing it, and, but
yeah,
people will be playing it. So.
Yeah, I fully expect, I expect at least 1 or 2 non-Bebop characters to be represented. I don't know who, but
yeah,
I think 2 will be in at least top 8, I believe. So, crossing fingers, but not for me, because I'm playing a B-Boop character, so. I gotta defend my home. It's my second time I get to, And I also told Shane that if we hit 50, 60 people, I may not play and just help him run it. So, just a second judge.
No pressure, guys.
No pressure, But
show up and kick Chris out of his own tournament. You heard it.
Oh, I ran like the first 2.
All you have to do is show up. You don't even have to beat him.
Yeah, I know that because we have a few new groups popped up, like Kenosha. There's a new Chicago group that popped up. So we like those guys have never been to a PTC before. So a couple of them were even surprised it's 2 days, and it's just like, well, the size of the Rockford event usually it has to be 2 days. We can't one day it. It'd be really maybe the first year we could have, but
I think it kind of depends. It depends. I feel like for people coming from like other games, because I know like Magic. You have like Friday Night Magic, and those things are big, and they have they finish all that pretty much starting at 5 p.m.
Yeah,
and they'll finish up in like a night, and it might take them till midnight or 1 o'clock, but they finish.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just sort of like a bit of it is just like the habit of us just going like, we'll play our rounds and we're going to take our lunch. I know that the last Rockford thing was when we had like the lunch break and there was one guy that was sitting there like, lunch break? What?
Oh, yeah. yeah, I know who
you guys talking about.
Yeah.
And we're just like, dude, nobody wants to sit down and play like 6 straight rounds and you have like, no, we're getting lunch.
Yeah, definitely need a break in there. Yeah.
And it's just a little more casual, so.
Yeah, in the Rockford, where we're holding it, we're lucky to have like about 4 or 5 different restaurants. Be it fast food, but
short distance.
It's very short distance, so you could power through some food fast. Which is
Chinese
nice.
is pretty good down the other end of the plaza.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're going to breakfast. That one place we went to, the Alpine View, the place we always go to. So we're going there. And so we're going there for breakfast. So
it's actually willing to seat 30 people.
I don't know. I'm just gonna get reservations for the room for our house plus Tim Keefe and maybe like Michigan, and then that's it. And then everyone else
get a bunch of like dirty looks from all the old people again.
Yeah, yeah, we could do that. That's fine.
Just came here for my normal omelet.
Look at the rabble.
They're so loud.
And then I know after once Swiss rounds, and I'm hoping to power through at least top 8. Cross your fingers, maybe top 4 if we're good enough. If it's the rounds are going fast enough. Then we're going to Trent's house for barbecue. I'm picking up all the meat tomorrow for it, and all we're asking is that if you show up, bring a side and your own drinks. That's all we ask. Or you can just give us money. That works too. So. That always works. Give me money. I'll take it. But we got burgers, pork chop sandwiches, chicken breasts. Trent's picking up a local favorite, Mrs. Fisher's kettle cooked chips. They're a Rockford only thing, so those are pretty good. So, and I think Reese said he's making coleslaw, or was it potato salad? It was one of the two. And then I think Justin Pedro is making some cornbread in a non...
Oh, I figured he was just making PBRs.
Yeah, no, he's bringing PBR too. Yes, he's bringing PBR as well. But I guess, yeah, that's pretty much it. So the side thing is like just bring whatever you feel like bringing, just make sure it's enough for everybody, and don't worry about it. If it's like, oh man, I brought chips, someone else brought chips. Who cares? It's gonna get eaten because Thomas Gordon will be there. So, the man can polish some food off. So
you're gonna make him like bring double.
We should, right? And isn't that the only fair thing? Is to make him bring double?
You bring as much food as you can carry, and Thomas Gordon can carry a lot of food.
Yeah, that's also true. That's true. So I guess that's anybody. You guys got anything else on the Rockford PTC? I know it's like short and sweet, and I know we're gonna have like another follow-up episode about how the meta sucks and all that stuff, but whatever.
So I'm really excited. We've been playing a lot of Secret Hitler here in Rochester.
Oh, cool.
It's a social deduction game that's like the rules change to get more people and it gets more fun.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest we've done so far is 8 people.
Yeah. And
I'm really excited to play a max size 10-player game.
Oh, that can happen. That's I'll be down for it's because it's basically werewolf, right? In a way. Yeah.
It's werewolf, but also you're in 1930s Germany. You're in 1930s Germany Parliament.
Yeah.
Trying not to get overthrown by Hitler.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
So there's a lot of parliamentary procedure. It's really fun.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down for that.
On top of fascism. Yeah. I do.
And that is your political piece on the Guile treatment tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, before we move on to the MK stuff, I'm going to show the mat. And I'm only on a little screen right here, so I have to page. We'll start with our reigning, defending, returning champion. And then we'll go... and then
The character select screen.
the character select screen, and then they have the I know it's backwards, but whatever, your forms, and then you got the geef face. Yes, that is that's worth the mat right there. So you got this if you pre-registered for it, and there'll be a few extra for sale, or if you make top 4, you get a mat. It's just a tradition. So, and I hope everyone enjoys it. And we're taking pictures again for next year's mat. Don't know what we're gonna do yet because I'm out of ideas. Let's move on to the MK spoilers, boys. So Rob, you want to start us off, or Kevin? It's up to you. You guys can roll for it, or roll for initiative, or whatever. So.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
You go first.
All right. I mean, I guess we'll start at like 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fine.
start with your most exciting card, and then go up, and
Okay.
we'll probably like.
I mean, this is one, and like, this is kind of just like a weird card. But I feel like it bears mentioning was I think it's like Black Magic Curse, the Quan Chi attack.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I'll put that up in post.
It's cursed with a K.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or no,
Yeah.
or it's magic with a K. I
It's
have no
magic
idea.
with a
There's
K.
one somewhere. Yes.
Curse.
Yeah.
So, that's something where I guess like the first thing that jumps out is like unblockable, which immediately is sort of like a sour taste because Vengeance of the Fallen Angel.
Yeah.
And you sort of look at it though, and there's a lot. You have to jump through a lot more hoops to get the unblockable on Black Magic Curse, or Black Hex Curse, or Hex Magic Curse, or whatever, whatever
Black
it is.
Magic Hex Curse.
Oh man, it's everything? Okay. So, yeah, I mean, you have to have basically a character with the same name as their starting character for it to be unblockable.
So you're saying it's going to be a great
as opposed
team
to
set.
playing, the best character in standard.
Oh, there it is. Cool.
So, yes, that's it.
That's it right there. Yeah, okay.
Can you just put it in post?
Yeah, I'll put it in post. Yeah. But I need to pull it up from my...
Hold your phone up and then just have the picture shoot in. Like
Yeah.
The actual real picture.
No, I'll put it in. I have it over. I have like a screen thing over here off the side of our call that I'll just overlay it. So yeah, I think it's a good card. I think he's gonna be a great. This attack will be a great teams deck type thing. Where
Well, what I was gonna say.
go ahead. Sorry,
Before
I got it.
we had to go with the behind the scenes
Yeah.
clipping. Honestly, like this is more important for Ermac than Quan Chi. Ermac is a character that sort of when he was spoiled, just him, is like, okay, like what's gonna make this guy like playable? It's like what's gonna be the incentive to like jam your deck full of characters, and ideally they're gonna be kind of like meta pick characters because he gets that pump for each symbol that they share. I've sort of been joking that I probably want to start with like Hikaru because he's got 4 symbols, which automatically makes him like a better include than a bunch of other people. And he shares it. I think he shares 2 with a bunch of people that are pretty good anyway. He shares 1 with just about everybody from Bebop, I think. Just because he's got water. Everybody has water, and then earth and fire is like Jet, Vicious. I think he doesn't share with Ed 9. That might be the only one.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
So,
does Earmac say the attack has to have symbols that match?
The character you discarded
Has to match the attack?
The character that you discard, this attack, so it can pump your opponents too. This attack, I think it's +2 for each symbol that it shares with the character you discarded, and then you draw a card. And so that's the thing too, is that it's okay to just like pack your deck with some characters, because if your opponent attacks you, then you can just pitch a card to basically like cantrip into something that, hopefully is better. You just have to know that you might be pumping the damage on it, so, you probably have to block it. But right, I mean, this is something where against some of the more like known meta decks, like that's the thing is you're going to expect to see spikes. So you're probably going to be running at least some of like the 1, the 1 dot or the 2 dot. I mean, they're going to share 2 symbols with either one.
And so for Black Magic Curse, one of the neat things that I think maybe isn't immediately obvious is that you just need to share names. So if you have a Spike 2 in your discard pile and your opponent's playing Spike 1, that's enough. That counts.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
So the dots only matter for like deck building, not for anything else. So like right, if it's like a card named this, like you're good regardless of the number of dots. But yeah, so like that's the thing is like this is a card that for Ermac is really and I mean the other thing too is what it has like a 6+ and whenever they play an enhanced destroy foundation.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He wants to do that anyway because that gives him more opportunities to trigger his own R when he checks a character.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean this is like it's got Quan Chi on it. This is an Ermac card in my book.
Yeah, that's really good. Like I forgot about a bunch of these. That card's awesome.
Yeah, I think I definitely, my first instinct by the way of this card was like, oh man, this is like the shittier Fallen Angel because, it's got a 2-check, doesn't have a block, it's got a worse block, does 8 instead of, 8's more than 6. Yeah. But I think it's got the big hoop to jump through. But the fact you get enhanced stuff is actually completely enormous. There's a lot of, even just on death, like there's Ending the Dream, there's a lot of cards that just add a ton of damage to your move for very little. So, yes, this is a sweet card. And I think that I think this has the best home in Ermac. It really fits well with him, and I think Ermac was one of the weaker characters just on like surface reading. But if there's gonna be more stuff that's as good as this is in him, then that's how it'll be run. Yeah, I think.
I also like it because it's a low opposed to a mid, so that's always good. So that's
when you just raw dogging it.
Right. So if it's not unblockable, at least,
yeah, exactly. Kevin.
All right. So my number 5 was Fade. This is a exciting sometimes rules nightmare.
Man, you had this at 5. Ooh, okay. I had this up. I had it at like 2.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So yeah, man, it's Pull Magic. I love Pull Magic.
Yeah.
It's gotten worse these days because like when you bounce Spike 2's attacks to his hand, he just laughs at you.
Yeah.
Replays them and then says, "Thank you, may I have like more damage for my hey, my ace maneuvers kills you now, idiot." But yeah, it's cool. It's nifty. It's really flexible. I like the desperation mode. It's just past your block. It gets hard out of your hand for copy sound, but it's been a painfully big deal these days.
Yeah.
And also it's a Kanye song that I like, so there's that too.
I mean, for those of you that don't know, like pretty much, I think all of your cards have been like song lyrics, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the thing is, Kevin's a big fan of the music cards, so.
That's
cool. Man, it's just like, way back with like Eye of the Tiger or Trade Your Passion for Glory is actually a playable card. Like, or No One's Ever Gonna Keep You Down. Like, those are just like that's just fun. And so it's like being able to be like, we actually haven't done this to anyone yet, but we talked a lot about when we made Pulled My Trigger that someone was gonna say "Mama," ooh, like, and just like obnoxiously scream Bohemian Rhapsody at our opponents after we killed them.
That's awesome.
And it's too bad matters we haven't done it yet, but one of these days we're gonna bust it
out. I like it that
oh man.
This card Fade with Scorpion 2-dot, right? You destroy a foundation. You could if you say you wanted to go in deeper on someone, you could.
Oh, what to get the check boost? Or whatever?
To get a check boost or whatever. That could work. That's not bad.
I didn't think of that, actually. Yeah. Evil can definitely jump itself into desperation and then trading a card in your hand for 3 foundations with the control checks. That's really good.
Yep. Considering he also has that 6 damage boost on it when he is in desperation, so you're trading for +3 and 6 damage.
Oh, no. That's Scorpion 1.
Scorpion 1, yeah. No, that's Scorpion 1, yeah. But if you use Scorpion 2, you get that, but if you drop yourself into desperation later in game, you get to use that too. So.
Yeah, I'd want to look at doing that with a character who can draw some cards somehow. Because as a 6 hand size character, you're kind of your failure case to miss a kill usually.
Yeah.
It's just you draw your hand, it's got 4 foundations in it. This isn't killing anyone. And so Fate doesn't help you at all there. But if you have a 7 hand size and you have some engine where you draw 6 cards this turn, now you might have enough attacks where this will really, really push the dagger in.
Wasn't there a card in the Scorpion support where it's E-commit, lose 2, draw a card?
Draw.
Yeah. So you got something.
Yeah,
I mean, one of the things too for Fade is at least like the early ruling on it, and we'll see if that remains or changes or whatever, is that any action, or I guess any other card that has remove as the cost, because it's removed, it will not return to their hand when you play Fade. So basically, like all of the Punch and Judy, Bang, I'm trying to think of some other ones. I guess like a beating would be like Dodge. That doesn't remove, but
Gateway Shuffle.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Gateway Shuffle.
Prepare to
so
fight.
Like base.
Prepare to fight E. Yeah.
The E. The E never hits.
The E, sure, but like the thing is that you can't stop any of the stuff on block.
Yeah, that's true.
But basically, those are like really big, and you can just when you cancel it and they don't get it back. Yeah. So now, I guess for what, like out of your league and revoke, they will, because those things leave your card pool as part of the effect. Yeah. For out of your league, they'll still have to pay the 3 again. So like that's not complete. Basically, if you really want to negate this R, you're going to pay 6.
Yeah,
that's
it's not horrible.
That's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that, and I sort of like look at it a bit from having played Vega, that like this is, I like Kevin said, this is like Pull Demagogen, which is on its own like, a good card, and it's kind of like it's a mix between Pull Demagogen and Dimension Door Ambush, which is another card that I really, really, really like. Yeah. And just it's like I like the ability to use it sort of like, especially at the end of sort of like an attack string when your opponent's like really pushing and they played something and you're like, all right, play it again. And like sometimes you just can't, sometimes you like, it sort of keeps people a little more honest, where like even if you don't have it, they have to sort of think like, man, if I play this and I have to tap like 4 foundations to force it through, and they just play like this, 0 diff Fade or whatever, and then I'm like tapped out and can't pass this again. Like, I don't know. I think that this will be a card that's like 1 or 2 main, unless you have some way to really abuse it. For instance, like Vega, you might find ways to like run more, because you can play it on foundations too. So like one of the things with Vega is like you can make someone fail like a first turn foundation, and so this is like the same thing where if they check if they play that like 4th foundation and they're like, oh, like check a 5, and you're like, cool, do it again. Don't check a 3.
Yeah.
So,
I remember you saying specifically about the art, because the fan was going through her head, and now that we see the card in general, are you more happy with the art now? Or does it not matter?
Whatever. I guess like considering I don't know what it is in game. I don't know like what the move is, or if it's like an after image or what.
I don't remember.
It's probably an after image.
The fact that it's not an attack is probably better. Like that's the thing, is it's probably the whole point is that it was like, is that it's
a defensive
fake.
move,
it's like something where it's like, I'm not actually here.
Yeah, I thought I killed you by throwing a fan through your hand, but you're not actually.
Now, do you think this is the Prepare to Fight the set, like an action wise? I know we haven't seen any other actions, but at first glance,
it's an ultra. Like the thing is this isn't. I don't think that this card is like auto include on symbol.
Yeah.
I think that it's very easy to just put in 1 on symbol, and just sort of like if you have it at the right time, it's going to win you a game. But it's not like
because like Void and Evil are fighting
no chance this card is prepared to fight. The same way that there's like Gateway Shuffle is not close to being prepared to fight.
Yeah.
From Bebop. Just the rest of the set is just really good.
Really
so
good. Yeah. I really
see opening boxes.
I see Chaos playing a lot of this for sure,
because
they have, other than Dodge, and Dodge is very.
Like I said, do you want to play Dodge right now?
I
don't know who's playing Dodge right now, but like I see so many people playing out of your league. Like, why are you playing Dodge?
Yeah, because like
you're gonna dodge out of your league and you just die.
Because you if you try to dodge and your opponent fades you, you still have to pay the cost, correct? You still have to pay the life.
Yeah, so you lose half life.
Yep.
Round it down.
Yep.
And then you've already committed.
Pass a 5 check. Yeah.
You've already committed to not blocking.
Yep.
So then your options are try to dodge again and pay that life again, or just take the whole attack. Like,
oh yeah, dodge is but I see Evil and Revoke. Evil and Void fighting with revoke slots. Maybe like a one of, in those symbols maybe, but...
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting. So there's positives and negatives both ways, right? Like, revoke you can play as a spam foundation, but fade is a +0 high block, and +0 high block is awesome.
Yes, they are.
And also this, which is better in the desperation E here or the revoke on offense? Like, yeah, sometimes like canceling a swordfish too can be really powerful. All the times people just don't play it in defensive E's and then you just hammer on them. But like this can do a lot. Like this can potentially add like 15 damage to your kill string because you pass a big multiple at the end.
Yeah.
And that's worth way more than revoke's ever going to be.
Yeah, the card's really good.
One thing about this too is I believe the set number or the card number on it is like 101.
It's
which means that this is like
a Molina
card, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
so that means symbols, it's not like Street Fighter where the characters all had 4 attacks and 4 foundations.
Yeah.
So this means I don't. Some of them may still, but this means that probably a lot of the characters are going to have like that asset or action. I don't quite know how to feel about that. I really actually liked in Street Fighter that everyone got the 4 attacks and 4 foundations. I mean, I know that this is sort of what they did for King of Fighters, where everyone had like an action or asset, and some of them I guess deserve it, but given the choice between everyone having 4 attacks and 4 foundations, and then we get like some extra stuff at the end, and everybody sort of being forced to have like an action or asset or something, like I'd much prefer the first situation where they're just at the end as like randoms.
Yep.
So
yeah, I mean, if you're forcing, like the designs are bad and they're just forced, that's obviously trash. But if they're all cool shit like they.
Yeah,
I think it's and maybe part of it is more just like I feel like, I don't know about Street Fighter, but like especially like Bebop, there's so many characters that like want to run their own stuff, and I guess it kind of was true for Street Fighter as well. Just that was forced. That was like a lot of just the keywords, the symbols. Like you didn't have that many options. So like it's nice to get as many options on like that basically are going to have all 3 of your symbols, so that I mean for instance like someone like Guile, I mean he's not going to run really his kick, I don't think, but he definitely wants flash kick and sonic boom until like better stuff comes along, and maybe it won't, maybe it will, but if
Hammer had a soul is fucking nuts.
It's pretty good.
But yeah, I mean just stuff like that. I think with there's less of it in the set of like keyword sort of pigeonholing, other than I guess like Jackie, she's the one that really stands out, but she at least shares one symbol with Spike and then
Jackie?
A symbol with Heidi, or I guess 2 symbols with Heidi. Is it Jackie? Okay.
It's Jackie, yes. It's Jackie. Yeah.
So she at least has some like legacy stuff that's gonna have tech. But again, like if you're just like, man, I really want to play her on water.
You get phase
Oper stuff is really, really good, or like Sub-Zero has some tech stuff, which he won't. So
you got a couple Fey attacks, right? That have tech on them.
They're terrible.
Yeah, I know, but still, they're still there.
Red Tail Gunfire is pretty good.
Yeah. Red Tail Missiles isn't horrible. They're not bad.
Yeah, that's Margot on that one.
I mean, the thing is like, do you have anything that's like on the level of like Tijuana Takeoff? No. Do you have anything that's on the level of like Iron Knuckle? No.
Tijuana Takeoff, I think. I think Red Tail Gunfire is close to that. It's nice foundation. It's really good. Anyway,
I mean,
what's your number 4? What's your number 4?
Man, I gotta get my number 5 out first.
I wasn't sure if you were doing it.
No, my number 5 is Fatal Disagreement. It's the Liu Kang Foundation. It's the
this one didn't make my list, but it's pretty good.
It's the 2/4 with the first F commit. All your attacks get +1 speed, for unless they clear their card pool, and then has a sweet R flip after a card leaves your opponent's card pool during the combat phase, which doesn't hit any of the remove actions we were talking about. They add
that's okay.
They add the top card of the.
It does hit revoke though, and out of your league.
And you basically get a second card into their card pool because Liu Kang's shtick is all about flooding their card pool and then getting combo attacks off the top of the deck, which is really sweet. But it's playable or committed. So the one thing I always was kind of mad in previous sets where you'd have like a first F or an F that would commit. Then you'd have a neat defensive ability that wasn't playable while committed, so they didn't kind of synergize with each other. But this time it does, and I'm very excited for this card because
And what is it? It's a +2 low, right?
It's a +2 low block, so it actually gives fire some needed non-Punch and Judy block love because they just run +1 lows, but for some reason Death still, unless you're just running all spiders and prepared to fights, it's very minimal on
Dude,
lows.
Death has not a lot of great lows.
No, their best
Cowboy
low
battery. Black Justice.
Their best low is
Peaceful
prepared to
Messenger.
fight. Nah, the best low is prepared to fight.
I mean,
zero low.
I guess there might be some spike stuff now,
Yeah,
but I know like my Vega tech last year was 78 cards or something, and I think like 9 low blocks.
And 3 of them, and we guess 4 of those were spiders. 4 of those were spiders.
I
Right?
had 4 spiders.
Yeah.
I had 4 Cowboy Battery. I had 1 Black Justice, and I had 4 Prepare to Fight. I think that was
There
it.
you
I
go.
think that was my low blocks.
But I like this though because the abilities synergize with each other. It may not be the strongest card shown,
no, this card
but it's very solid.
this
It's a
a
very
lot.
solid card, and that makes me happy because I just like seeing cards that synergize with the abilities synergize, other than having like one weird one and then one that doesn't really they don't work together very well.
Yeah,
So.
this card feels good. I think I like having cards that you can make choices too sometimes, but you can't be all of one or the other. And the decision to first F or not, I think that's a pretty significant one.
Yep.
So it's a fun card.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting to see like some of his other stuff as well too, because like even somebody like Lily, like dude, first F commit, add 1 to their pool, play a Cowboy Battery, R add 1 to their pool, and then first like E add 1 to their pool.
Yeah.
It's like all your stuff's coming in like effectively like our blocks are like +3 progressive. Like that's rough.
Yeah, it's on 2 of her symbols too, right? She has death and water, so yeah. Just think your what's her throw? Her ranged throw was that?
Yeah.
Man Driver.
Oh yeah, dude, it's free. It's pretty much free after that. It's like
Hero fucking Fatica.
Yeah, I know.
Platinum.
Yeah, I know a bunch of people who are super excited for ripping out their Faticas out for that guy. They're whipping the Fatica out, boys. So that's it for my fatal disagreement. Not a whole lot, just that I think it's a really good card and it's solid and just seems fun. So go ahead, guys. Move card number 4.
I guess I'll do. I think for me, 4 was like a Whip Slash. I think that's what it's called. That one was like sort of snuck in somewhere. Like I don't even know who had the spoiler for it. Like I don't think it was on their list.
I don't even see it.
It's not. Like it wasn't on like the big dump they did afterwards of like all the stuff they sent out. So I like actually have no idea where it came from.
I know
this is the combo move with like 3 combos, right?
Yeah. Well, right. Yeah. This is the Takeda one. It's like a 6 mid 6, like 4/2, and what is it? It's like combo, right? Like combo. What attack?
Yes.
And it's like combo +4 damage, like combo.
Discard a card.
Combo 4
Discard a
damage.
card.
Combo discard a momentum. Your opponent discards a card.
Okay.
Deadlock combo is a throw.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder, man, some of these like deadlock stuff, like how does that copy? Do you know what I mean? If you're
don't they have to be in
Takeda,
deadlock?
I don't know,
To use
but like it's sort of one of those things where it's like that's not actually a combo ability, right? Or is it? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, in my book, it's kind of a in the first place. Like I mean, like is a combo ability an ability that is gated by a combo, or is it the combo keyword, right? Like a stun ability is the stun keyword.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I guess the idea is that it's like if they're in deadlock. I guess the whole point is like what if they're in deadlock, you can play this ability.
Yeah.
So like it's on the card either way. It's just whether or not you can play it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of like an E that you can only play if they're in deadlock and it's preceded by 2 attacks. So it's sort of like a bunch of hoops, I guess, but whatever.
It's a fun card, though.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, like I just like seeing this because Takeda's probably like the second most, like the character I'm second most excited about. The first being like Devora. So it was sort of good just like seeing something for him and just sort of like what some of the combos will be. I mean, we've talked a lot about what you might be able to do with the Thundering Torture, like Critical Split, Fatica, like some of these cards. So just getting like a little bit of an idea of like his thing, and then seeing like Liu Kang's like Bicycle Kick. There's definitely like a bunch of combos. There's a lot of stuff that's mid, which is like a little weird. I mean, I've also seen some like combo mid. So I don't know how much of this set's going to be like mid attacks. It feels like we've seen a bunch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is almost like, I don't know how good it is. Honestly, the biggest thing about it is that it's a 4-diff 6/6.
Yeah.
Like, so you don't,
huge.
you don't have like the combos, like you still don't have to feel terrible about it. I mean, the fact that it's mid is a little rough because it seems like people are running character blocks.
Yeah, I think they're really trying to make character blocks matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, like even if you're going to be a mid attack, this is a mid attack that has a ton of speed on it. So if they check bad or if they don't have the right stuff, they can be unblockably, like they can fail their block. Mm-hmm. And then also it has built-in like hand pressure, like it rips cards out of their hand you can combo it, and that's 10 damage too. So like if you're at 10 left, you have 2 cards in your hand. You may not have 0 cards, and whoever's calling up after this is going to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, it's great for Takeda, where you can just throw those things on something with like an easier. I mean, it's a pretty easy combo condition anyway. But
yeah, no, the thing that I really like about this card is just kind of like, I think it's like there are cards like a lot of the old combos were like all the power of this card is in the combo condition, like Shield Ram. Like you don't combo Shield Ram, it sucks. Yeah. This card, it's at like 3 or 4 modes that are all totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't combo it, it's okay. It's not like necessarily keeping up with the rest of the format, but it's fine. And then if you combo it with no momentum, that's still 10 damage for only for 60 ability control check. If you have momentum now, it's doing a ton of shit. If you're in deadlock, now it's guaranteed damage on top of everything else it's doing. And like having different modes, different levels of flexibility is really, really valuable. It's really easy to understate how good that is.
Did we lose Rob? Go ahead, keep going. Did we lose Rob?
Looks like he was like sneezing or something. Maybe he just sneezed his router off.
Yeah, I think so. I'll add him back. Keep going. I like the card just because it's just stats, and I think that's pretty good. Yeah, he said be right back. Computer issue, but yeah, not really I haven't looked into a lot of the Mortal Kombat guys outside of Reptile, that is, because I just basically threw him together real quick. So he's the guy I'm most excited for. Because I think I might enjoy Takeda too.
Reptile. Holy shit.
Because he just pitches cards too, and that thing is 12, 13 damage in him if you can combo it. So that's pretty good. Because my card for this number is Force Ball, and so you could play a mid attack, play Force Ball, rip that Whiplash, Whip Slap, Whip whatever.
Whip
Assault off the top of your deck, and then you play Whip Assault, and then you just murder your opponent because they have no cards in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you make them Whip Assaulty.
Yes. Very, very, very salty. So Force Ball, it's a 4 difficulty, 3 check, +1 mid, 5 mid for 4. Keywords are EX2 ranged, combo mid attack. This attack gets -2 speed, +2 damage. Combo E, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add all mid attacks revealed to your hand. Discard the rest. So that is fantastic. Oh, look, he's back. You're back.
All right, we got him back.
Yeah. So do you want before we move on to Force Ball? Do you want to talk anything else about Whip?
Oh no,
Assault?
it's okay.
Okay, so Force Ball's my number 4, and so yes, don't give me that look. Oh, shut your mouth, sir. We were saying that if you wanted to, you could play the Whip attack in Reptile and just play mid, Force Ball, fish out the attack, play it, and yeah.
So much discard.
So much discard, so much damage, much wow. But yeah, I and the art's cool too. So, and even though he used to spit it, it should be like Sludge Ball or something because it's his own venom and like mucus that comes out. But yeah, but it's like but it's not like a force though. That's more like Johnny Cage's thing. He uses like the force.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my number 4. So I just like the concept of the card. It helps a 6-hander with his main problem, which is drawing attacks. So
yeah, I love the flip 3 cards, get all the things like like it just feels like it rewards like commitment and deck building in a really organic, kind of healthy way.
Yep.
Like you're not like strictly required to play mids with that. It's just here's a reward if you do that.
Yep. And then the extra damage with minus speed doesn't matter because they're not going to have a hand anyway. So, because reptiles.
I sure hope Tomahawk Man doesn't show up with the set.
Oh,
I've had enough of that guy.
Yeah, I hate that guy too.
So we're talking about a lot of mid attacks. My number 4 choice was actually Fusion of Souls, a card that is excellent if your opponent's spamming mid attacks at you. So this is Urbax Foundation. It's first F 6+, add a character for you to discard to your hand, and then Deadlock, Flip, commit your opponent's character. So
that's really good.
Like I remember several years ago now, I was playing Angels deck. It was like an aggro Angels deck. And I wanted to take I kind of organically ended up with like a bunch of 6-check foundations. And I was like really excited that I'd be able to play like all these 5-diff moves. It was like 5-diff, 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 and just flip 6s on them. And I was like very excited about the concept of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the deck just kind of didn't do very much, and there weren't very many cards that rewarded me for playing like 25 6-checks.
Sure. And
that was frustrating to me. So this card's exciting because like here's a reason that you can get rewarded for playing all these 6-checks in your deck. Maybe like you just play like 5 or 6 characters and a set of Punch and Judy, and then some spam, like some of your make sure some of your spams will like avoiding assassination. Is that the one? That's flip draw card.
That's making a deal or something like that. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And now boom, like this can be you put it in your staging area. It's spam, like you're pretty aggro with that, and then just you 6+, you check a 5. Maybe you're like, I can use some mid blocks right now. Commit 1 to draw a card to draw a +0 mid block, or just hit the 6s naturally, and you'll be thrilled. This is a fun.
I mean, the thing is, it's like a +0 mid block, or it's something if you're planning on attacking, it's plus. I mean, if you know what your opponent's character is already, hopefully it's going to be at least like +4 to +6 damage and draw a card.
Before even talking about like putting in an Ermac or putting it in a character who actually wants to stack characters,
right?
Where it's obviously fantastic. I just putting cards in my hand and then being able to do things with them.
You could like Mega Man. Like I know like the 6+ is pretty a hefty cost if you're only running Mega Man for one could use this off of Void, so. That's or the Mega Man 1 off of all could use it.
And Mega Man 1 loves stuffing cards in its hand too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. And that Deadlock is really good too. That you don't have to get rid of it. It just flips and it has a high block, so you can't get too angry about that. It's nice on a spam card. So
and I think a lot of the decks that can go to Deadlock are still decks that they kind of rely on their character in some extent, like. Mm-hmm. Your Vincent Grays, who's not really playable or whatever, but your Jet decks or your good ball decks actually. Bay, Jet, these kind of characters really rely on their character, and this is a great tool to shut that down.
The one thing too, I don't know if you had mentioned that it sounds like they're going to be changing the way First F works too as well, where it's going to be as long as if you attempt it, that's it. Because I know we were sort of talking about, we're like, whoa, it says first played, and if you fail the check, you didn't play this ability. So we were talking about, you could have made, the way the rules are written now, you can pretty much play this until you check a 6. As long as you don't commit to passing.
No 6 checks. Yeah.
Right. But, but it sounds like they will be,
that's good.
That just sounds like a rules fix.
That's it. That is a pure exploit. No one, in no sane world are you allowed to just flip your deck like that.
Yeah, honestly, the only reason I even thought about that was because of the Sebastian 1-dot. Yeah. I remember that he had gotten an errata for his form that it was you could only attempt it once per turn instead of play it once per turn. So I was like, wait, what? And then I thought about it and I was like, oh, I guess because if you fail. And then I saw this and realized, wait, this is just that all over again. So
yeah.
Okay.
So you what? I guess 3. So
Number
back
3.
to me.
Yeah. Back to you.
So speaking of foundations with deadlock abilities that aren't earth or fire or
good.
Earth or good or earth,
or earth.
Sharpshooter.
Oh, nice.
Part that I like.
This is a fun one.
And this is what a 3/4. So that's the first sort of strike against it is that 3-diff foundation. I think this is a card that if you're running it, your deck is going to sort of be wanting this card. So you might not have the slots for some of the other stuff that you would like to run. But yeah, a 3/4 and then just a free E. So don't have to commit, don't have a check, don't like anything. Your low attack, it's +1/+1 and powerful 2.
God,
which
that's
is
awesome.
so good.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I mean, even one of those sort of like best attacks out of Street Fighter would like just sort of value is stretch kick, and all you need is this foundation. I know like Scott had that like Airman deck that just sort of like would play kicks and Kokosho, and like one of the things about it is that like you're always sort of like figuring out like how you were going to get that damage on it, because he could put the speed on it, but like you needed like just +1. He would run like bridging. I think he even ran the 2-diff QB foundation.
Dying World or something like that.
Ability where you could like cancel a form, but also just had commit +1/+1.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't good, but like you just needed a way to get damage on stuff.
Yeah, it was worth it for stretch kick.
Yeah, and so this is just free, and like the powerful 2, like that's not irrelevant. What's it?
Aaron Black?
No, I'm just blanking. The Felicia one, Delta Kick.
Delta Kick.
I mean, that's return to get powerful 2, and like at the end of the day, sometimes like if you have a pile of momentum and you just put that powerful 2 and kill someone with it.
Yeah.
Like Aaron Black,
Yeah, like Aaron Black.
Aaron Matt, he might have some momentum here and there. And then the thing that's nice is seeing some of these deadlock abilities, especially for symbols that don't have them, really. I know that's sort of been sort of an issue, is that the only symbols that seem to have a ton of deadlock are basically like good and Earth.
Yeah.
Jet had deadlock on like everything.
Right. I mean, deadlock had Jet had a bunch of stuff, so I guess Fire has some as well. But you'll play against certain symbols like. I'm sure there might be some.
Jet is very weak at deadlock.
They got cleaning the fish for the most
part.
Or
like something like that. I mean, you play against like water or like life or something like that, and like there might be some things, but like certainly nothing that like springs to mind is just like, oh man, I gotta watch out for like Woodman's Leaf Shield, or like, oh man, like that overly dramatic is going to be a problem. Like if I go to deadlock,
I hate overly dramatic.
Just stuff like that. At the same time, it's kind of nice that it's not that good. Like, because I don't think the deadlock abilities, like, there's some in this set that, obviously, like, the win the game effects, like, a lot of those are based on deadlock. And I don't think anything needs to be that good.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to just be, like, to end the game. But, this is really nice. And the fact that it's worded the way it is, where it says that you can't reduce it first and then it gets the speed. Which is the opposite of Schecter from Indians.
Yeah.
Because one of the things with her is that she gave all the speed and then it couldn't be reduced. And so that meant that if your opponent had like a dust in the wind, they could respond as soon as it got the speed before it couldn't be reduced. And so this deals with that by canceling like any, they can't reduce it and now it gets the speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And actually even going back to like, that Airman deck or like Kokosho, if your opponent is like kind of like getting down there on life, and you just have one of these out, and you can just throw 4 speed on something that they have to block, and then you just play a Kokosho and ready it and do it again. They're gonna have a rough time.
Yeah, put them in no scenarios real quick. Yeah.
So this is just one like I don't think it's like amazing, but I like I like both of the abilities, and I like seeing like a little more deadlock for symbols that don't have it, just to give them some like options.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead, Kevin.
I think my favorite thing about this card is that I think you can easily justify playing this card at any of 0 copies, 1 copy, 2 copy, 3, or 4 copies. Mm-hmm. Like, there's definitely people who are really excited about, I'm just going to build a deck that's all these little +1s on my mono low attacks, and they're just like, +1/+1, this is great. And I can see decks that say, okay, I want to have a powerful 2 on my random search snake multiples sometimes. And it's not like the big centerpiece of my deck, but like it's going to be a good tool to have, and plus deadlock key sometimes. And then you'd be in the middle, and you're going to say, I'd rather have Surveyor than this, and I'm going to play 0. I just love this makes perfect sense to me on anywhere on that spectrum.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, because you're going to have. Like, take Asimov and Katarina may play like a 2 of, but, They could, because then if they're in deadlock, because it gives them
Yeah, I
something.
mean, readying it is great, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good, and then they do have some low attack. They do have that couple low attacks, I believe. The Asimovs.
I mean, it depends on what
build.
symbol you're on.
Yeah,
But,
well, like
basically,
take James.
James's build is practically the same, man.
Yeah. So you would look. You got Power Stone. It put Stinging Upper. You got
Hyper Bomb.
Yeah. And what's Hyper Bomb's biggest fault? That it gets blocked too much. So that's
putting this on Hyper Bomb is pretty sweet.
Yeah, it is. It's very cool. So moving on, Kevin, you're next for number 3.
So my number 3 was Shokan Prince. This is maybe a little bit of a commitment to Goro, but this is the 3/5 no block, and while it's ready in your staging area, non-foundation cards. Is that it?
Yep.
Is it non-attack cards?
No, non-foundation.
Yeah, non-foundations get +1 difficulty. So I love me a good Hanya. And this Hanya's your opponent's entire life from the moment they start playing their turn. It's like, shit. Like, I'm going to play a 5 diff, check a 5, and commit foundations for that? This is awful. It's not unique.
Yeah.
You just be like, under all the pressure of the universe, and you slap Goro and he actually Hanya R's you, and you're just like, what am I doing with my entire life?
It does Hanya you, though, right?
It's symmetrical, yes.
Okay.
But if you're Goro, your first move is Hanya, whatever. I'm going to commit my pile of face-down foundations to pass it. And then you just flip this and commit them to pass and, turn it off. And then beat them to death with your forearms.
Yeah. That's I like how it says ready, because Johnny Cage could use it, by committing it.
I wonder if it used to not say that, and then they decided to give it the Cassie Cage treatment when they got sick of losing to Johnny Cage.
Yeah, maybe.
It's still really sweet with Johnny Cage, though.
Yeah, it's still -3 damage. It's pretty good. So, or +3
she
damage.
could probably sit in the staging area and say, come at me.
Yeah, I like it.
Depending on if there's ways to, cheat stuff in, you could put in, Cossack or something, too.
Yeah.
He'll be able to ready it if it pops in, so...
Well, he has all. So if you play out, you can play it. You can do a dual symbol deck with Honky Tonk Woman.
Huh?
So you can have Honky Tonk Woman off water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Off ball.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything else about Shuttle Conference? Other than that, it's pretty cool, and it's basically
I think it's a cool card. I like the kind of the layer of deck building where you can screw over your opponent's control checks, as you might have been able to tell from playing Psych earlier. And I think it's a pretty straightforward card. It's just it's going to be frustrating for people to play against.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get screwed up by it a few times. I'm pretty sure. I'm not going to say I won't, but. My number 3 is, surprise, surprise, another reptile card. It is Loyal Servant. In the whole realm of Deadlock Foundations.
Who is this man?
No, I just like in other card games that I've played, I've loved messing with my opponent's hand, so I'm really drawn to the discard stuff. And so, but my other 2 cards aren't reptile cards, so just be happy about that. So, the E flip doesn't really matter. It's more because you return this printed high and low attack. Well, maybe your high or low attack to back to its printed speed. So if you have to block it, I guess. But if you're getting -3 damage, why does it matter? But the Deadlock E is awesome, which is commit your opponent discards a card. So yeah, you could just be eating a giant big cyclone when you do that. But whatever. It's just 10 damage.
Deserve it.
I deserve it for playing Reptile. So, but I like it a lot. I think it's a neat. It's one of those neat cards that it's gonna. If your opponent is staring down, it's kind of like seeing overly dramatic. That if your opponent, you just can't go to deadlock if your opponent has 1 or 2 of them. You just can't because you're gonna die.
Yeah, the game will just end.
Yeah, the game. This is maybe more potent than an attack in a way, because it's going to end your opponent's turn. It's going to end the game, and it's also, if they go into deadlock on their turn, you get rip cards from their hand. You ready everything, and then that they are still in deadlock, you rip more cards. Yeah, it's just, I think you guys kind of spoke about that on Top Deck Heroes, about how 2 copies turns to 4, 1 turns to 2, 2 turns to 4, just doubles basically because of the way the turn cycle goes.
So Chris, if you're building a repel deck, how many of these would you actually include?
I don't know, 3, maybe 3. I don't know if it's a 4 of because it depends what this other stuff does.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I guess it depends. Yeah, it depends on how many slots.
Yeah.
And I guess it depends on how many high and low attacks there are in these
Because not many people walk into deadlock unless they absolutely have to.
Yeah.
But I like it how it's one thing that I really like about the card is that a lot of deadlock E's or sometimes are your turn. I don't know if there's that many that are your turn, but it just seems like you have to wait for like the turn cycle to go to activate it really on like this is good at like this and overly dramatic are good on both turns. There's not like cleaning the fish is really only good on your attacks, so it's really just a reversal. It's just one of the
like part of this is just because of what it is like. Right. I guess the whole point of deadlock is to be like wall breaking.
Yeah.
And like some of it is more effective than others, but yeah, I mean, this is definitely. I guess in some ways, I'm sort of interested to see what kind of anti-discard is going to be in this set because we sure have seen a lot of discard with just Reptile, Takeda, but like some of their cards. So, I mean, I guess I expect a lot of people to be playing Sacrifice and a lot of people to be playing Big Cyclone.
So. There's
emergency rations.
Emergency rations let you draw 2. Yeah.
And see, like you don't need to have cards that say when your opponent makes this case out of your hand. You just play cards like Fusion of Souls. Maybe +1, like just build up more cards in your hand to be able to use that discard. Bring back Templar.
There you go.
Nice.
You can play 12th Pharaoh. That card's not bad.
Card's awesome.
Yeah. As long as you don't need.
It's got a 6-check for your Ermac Foundation, man.
There you go.
I guess they're both first synergy. It's a little bit of a clash.
yeah, very true. All right, you want to move on to number 2?
I mean, mine was Fade.
Fade.
Yeah. Oh, yours was Fade. Okay, so Kevin, number 2.
Fade aside. Mine number 2 is a Flame Aura. So this card is.
Good luck finding a nice pick of this. Chris.
Yeah, I can't. It's
broken.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh my god. So this is a +1 high block that blocks the opponent's attack at 0 speed.
Does it change it before the block step?
It's like you thought that Yeah, it's like when you block with it. It's the same as the Guile Foundation, but
okay.
It's a
cool and focus.
Now could you
like this is like hot and focused, right? Like this is.
Now you could still balance fighter that, right? Or are you already past?
No,
you can't.
I don't think so.
Could you balance fighter to 0?
Question. I'd have to look at that. Look at those response windows. So I think this is probably.
I don't know.
This is probably before the block step, and so is balance fighter probably. So maybe you would.
Because if you're playing this as a block, right?
Does it say when you attempt to play the card as a block? Like when because Cool and Focus says when you attempt to block. I would assume Flame Aura would be the same.
Actually, how does that even work then? Because when do you determine block difficulty? Like, I guess that's
so. It's like playing a normal card. You count cards in your card pool. You look at the speed of the attack. You look at the block modifier. So this says before you determine block difficulty, then you change the speed to 0, and then you count progressive difficulty, block modifier, all that.
Okay.
And then you make a control check. So this probably does beat balance fighter.
Okay.
Because balance fighter is like before the block step, before that whole process even begins.
Okay.
Like you definitely don't wait for your opponent to show you a card in their hand before you decide to balance fighter.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah.
So I think that's the way to look at it. But also on top of all that stuff, and I'm pretty sure this doesn't trigger off. The second ability doesn't trigger off of itself because it's not in the card pool yet. But whenever a block is played and this is in your card pool, your opponent burns for 1. So now if your opponent's at 2 life. And they attack you, and they need to land 3 hits to win, and you have this and 2 more blocks. They can't win. They're fucked. If you have 2 of these, or if you have Graven Castle ruins, they're fucked.
Kevin's so excited.
You don't need brutality to kill people in their 3 life. You just need to block.
Yeah, just need to block.
I mean, I guess it works, even with, like, attacking it, too.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's not just when you block, it's when anyone blocks.
So, like, I think the same way that when Spike 1 was revealed, I was kind of like, yeah, sure, okay, that's pretty good. And then Fallen Angel happened, and, like, if you didn't kind of look at that card and think that card all the way through, and you have the best wall character in a long time, with the best unblockable in a long time, I feel like this might change the calculus of how good is Scorpion.
Yeah.
Because as a 7-speed mid for 10, that burns you for 3? That's a lot better than I thought Scorpion was going to be. I thought he was like, yeah, this is like Iori. He's going to kill himself really fast to get a backswing again. He's got this kind of shit in his pocket. Yeah, he's going to kill you.
Yeah, I wonder, because that's not going to be his one of, right? It's probably going to be From Hell, right? Is that the...
Probably.
That's too bad.
Is this starter rare? It looked like it could be foily. I don't know.
It could be.
If it's foil, you can have a foil in your starter. Like I said,
Yeah.
one of. So
yeah.
I think this is a really, really powerful card. This is going to be meta defining.
Well, the thing is like From Hell is like it has ease. It's it goes to like 13 damage. Blows up foundations. Like that's definitely going to be. I think that's like the big one.
Yeah,
this is sort of like the little like sort of sneaky like.
This is the swimming bird.
2 or 3 copies.
Is this the swimming bird?
Well, because the thing is too is this doesn't have any abilities. It's just 2 statics.
Yeah, true.
It's got desperation.
Yeah.
You can give it Stone 1 with Robot Masters.
It doesn't have any E's or R's.
On 3 symbols. Who needs E's when you have 3 E's on your face?
It's also true. My number 2 card was Most Trusted Assassin, the Katana Foundation.
That's my number 1.
If this were like what is the most impactful card in the format, like what is the card that's going to be the most top 8s, what's going to be the most most powerful, what's going to influence the game the most? Most Trusted Assassin is a 0 dip that does way more than a 0 dip.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It's a 0/5 with a +3 mid, E once per turn, lose 1 vitality. Your opponent's next check to play an attack card this turn gets -1.
That's attack card, so like that works. Like if they try to block an attack too.
Yep.
Like this is awfully close to just stun 1.
That also ends their turn if they fail it.
Yeah.
So and then has first F. Your opponent reveals 1 random card from their hand. Who cares?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Hand information never killed anyone.
One funny thing, not that good or Death needed anything, but it did give it some decent zeros, I guess. And even though Death had good zeros, but it has good has a good 0 now, I guess. So whatever. But Evil gets it though, so that's all. Yeah.
Evil was absolutely flooded on spams. I don't know if people know this.
I mean, that's what I was saying. Like I was looking at this. Like Evil has this, Harrison's Lucky Day, Fallen Angels, and like
Revoke.
no surprises and Revoke. Yeah, it's just like. Yep. Man, I'm telling you what, if you want to run like 1 checks,
go for it.
Play it Evil.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's deep on good 1 diffs too. It's not just
definitely. Yeah. I think this card, like you guys said, it's going to be heavily played. I do not want to stare down a board with 4 of these while I'm attacking, because
I do.
Well,
because I'm gonna play an attack. You're gonna pay 4 life. I'm like. Dude, my attack did more damage than printed. Let's go.
I guess
if
you see it that way, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that works. Yeah, but I think that this card's awesome. For a common, too. It's a common, which is insane. So,
I mean, the big thing, too, is like something like this, and I think there's it seems like Scorpion especially has some other things that like pay life and whatever. We've seen a lot of characters and cards that, are desperation.
Yeah.
And one of the big things, if you're going to run a deck where you have, like, desperation cards, is, like, you want ways to get yourself into desperation that don't require you to eat attacks from your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, the whole thing is, like, right, if you're, like, if your desperation starts at, like, 13 vitality and your opponent leaves you at, like, 16, like, that's the whole thing is you're just like, well, I'll put you at 16, and then, I'll sort of sit around and figure out how I'm going to kill you because, you're like, especially like Scorpion, like Scorpion who's just like, I'll just put +6 on everything. Yeah. Like, you don't want to leave him at desperation. So you're just going to be like, I'll take you to like 18 or, 17 or something like that. Like, that's good. Although he can do so much damage off his character. Yeah. But, like, somebody like Vega is going to love this card.
Yeah.
Because his whole thing, can you imagine if he's at, like, 10 or, something, like, he eats an attack to go to 10 or something and, like, you play something and he's just like, okay, well, your next attack's going to be, like, +1 difficulty or the check's going to be -1. I'll pay 1 life to go into desperation, so -1 speed, and like all your stuff is +1 difficulty, and I'll like breaker block it.
Sounds fun,
I thought
kids.
it was cool too.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, I mean this is like, just yeah. As Kevin said, for a 0 diff, like, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if anyone was ever worried that UFS wasn't skill intensive enough anymore because of Cowboy Bebop, like you can't just mash this card like a brain dead idiot playing Reptile.
Yeah.
But I mean, even if you did, like how bad is that for you?
It's
right?
not.
Like, how
it's not good.
exploitable is it if you just spam this every opportunity? Like,
I honestly think there's going to be a lot of people who are sour, like the newer players are going to be soured on this set because, well, I just paid 10 life in 1 turn and I just died. Well, don't pay 10 life in a turn, idiot. It's just. I think that's something like the people who came in on Bebop didn't get all that previous. Like King of Fighters had some stuff to mess around with life, and there wasn't. I don't know if there's very much. I don't remember a lot after that.
It was mostly Yori, and then it didn't get used for a while.
Yeah.
With good reason because it's terrible.
Yeah. But I think a lot. I don't know. I hope people don't. They are going to realize, hey, I need to actually learn how to play the game instead of just mash the B button the entire time. That seems that's what Bebop is right now. Is just mash the B button over and over again to a point. So
it depends. I mean, you need to get like that thing is like you need the payoff.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is something where it's like you run it because again, like basically in a pinch, 1 vitality for breaker 1.
Fantastic.
Sure. Like that's awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's also like is obviously a 0 diff foundation, so you could pass checks with it, and honestly, that first F is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, just go show me a random card in your hand.
Yeah.
What's the block? Oh, cool. Well, you only have 2 other ones, and that's like a high block, and I have some low attacks.
Yeah.
So I know you have 1 dead card in your hand, so let's go.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh yeah.
That's Flame War, and I'm at 2. I guess I'm not going to attack into that.
I guess I'm going to die when you attack me with that.
A brutality, and I'm at 3. I guess I gotta kill you now. I guess they would have just killed you for the last phase. Maybe it's not as much of a thing, but
All right. So we back to Rob or Kevin?
Well, I guess I don't have like a 1 now because that was my.
Oh, sorry. One. Go ahead.
So it's okay. I'll go with like a little with another one that's sort of like a bit of a combo with that card, which is the Kotal Khan Foundation. I don't remember what it's called.
I'll find it. I have it right here. Invoking Blood Magic?
Yes. So, like, this is, like, another one where, we sort of talked about, like, the evil symbol just getting a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
And this is one of those ones, like, it's another one of those, as they, like, phrase it, people gotta live cards.
Yeah.
I didn't have the pleasure of playing, really, with Champ Etch 1 and Keenan's Cat. But I've heard it was pretty good. I've heard like it was a pretty good card.
Little bit.
Didn't they have to errata that thing once they came up? When they came up with safe,
I think
right?
I think they made it give safe.
Yeah, it gave safe to the end of turn. Yeah.
But
sorry, right.
But yeah, I mean, I guess the one downside of it is like the fact that it is like an evil, I guess E, right? It's not an R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about that is like that basically makes it a 1 symbol card.
Mm-hmm.
It also has like life and order, but like you're not going to run this in a life deck if your character doesn't have evil. You're not going to run this in an order deck if your character doesn't have evil.
There's a universe where you really, really care about momentum, but yeah, for the most part,
I guess, but I feel like there's got to be some other stuff you can do. Yeah,
I guess Plant Man would just play evil then instead of life. So
no, I mean, like Plant Man can like you have a life Ava deck, a life Plant Man deck.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing though: is like for order, there's like I think 4 characters, and it's like Roy,
Cole Khan,
Baelcure. No, I'm not. I'm talking about like previously.
Oh, sure.
Like Baelcure. Dude, I don't even remember. I don't know. It was a bunch of characters that you're just
Sheepman, BB Hood, Roy.
There you go. That's it.
Oh god, this is rough, dude.
Sheepman can at least lose life, but it's only on his turn.
Yeah.
What's up?
Khan BB Hood is going to be so fucking hype. Like, dude, it's so hype. Like, all your shit is double printed for free, and you're just drawing cards and drawing big shots and making your shit unblockably fast and double damage and drawing more cards, and they're clearing themselves out of the card pool. It's hype as fuck, okay? I love BB Hood. It's unplayable for so long. It's just still gonna be unplayable, but it's gonna be exciting.
But I mean, but the thing is like she doesn't have a way to like lose life. Like the thing is you really want a way to lose life, and something.
Wow,
so that's the thing is like
half block.
you. What? No, don't you have to have lost it during this attack?
No, this turn.
Yeah.
Ah, all right. So that's
yep.
Okay. I thought you had to lose it. Then all right. Nope. You know what? Never mind.
Invoking Blood Magic is back on the menu, boy.
There you go. So, it's a good thing we did this. I learned something. And that card is better than I thought.
There you go.
Yeah, I thought you had to lose the vitality like during the attack, and I was like, whoa, all right, well, that limits it a lot.
Like, hey, I'm Scorpion. I'm gonna pay a life to -2 speed. The set foundation of -2 more speed.
Is the static reminiscent of Yori 1 static? When he was in desperation?
I think it's mature.
Mature?
Or no.
No, mature was adding.
Vice, right?
No, I think mature was adding momentum.
She was. Iori was they couldn't stun stuff unless they gave momentum.
Okay.
And
okay.
Vice had like a static that did something.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of like how they're I read that static wrong to begin with the first time I read that card.
Oh, Vice gave a cost to action cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I think that static like stacks as well. So
yeah.
I mean, if you get like 2 or 3 of these out, like they're not touching you.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good for Plant Man.
It's a really weird ability, I think, to put like this. Like, do we really need to hose reactive style? I don't get it.
Or what? Spaceland too. Spaceland's it gets it. Yeah.
Why is this on a foundation you could play anyway for another? Like, I don't get that, but.
It's another one too of like one of those like woods. So like it might be stuff too where it's like if they don't have any momentum and you play an ability that's like do this thing and discard a momentum, aren't you then having to like hit the momentum to play it? Yeah. I don't know if any of those exist, but
so like I think Sheepman has a move. I think it's just like if X or
it's
Chun-Li's kicks is combo E, do a bunch of shit, start their momentum. Yeah, and now. That because like one of the principles of the rules, which is like the reason the wood thing is confusing, is that your cards don't like your abilities shouldn't like your response windows shouldn't be so complicated that you have to like read what the game state currently is to figure out what's trigger and what isn't. It says read what the card does, and that's that's all you need to know to figure out whether or not the response is going to trigger.
Yeah.
So if you read the card, it says discard a momentum as one of the possible outcomes. Then that's what the card does. And that's what triggers responses or not. And that's what triggers additional costs or not. This card.
Yeah. So, what's it with, like another one is like, like Slash Man. Ooh,
yeah. Oh gosh,
rough.
That's rough.
So, I mean, if you just have one of these out, Slash Man's just blank.
Mm-hmm.
Slash Man. Well, I
guess he can steal this. Right? He's like, well, I guess I'm stealing Invoking Blood Magic because.
He seals it. It loses all abilities, including statics.
That's rough.
All right, so we're on number 1.
Yeah.
Rob's got his number like 7 in here because we all sniped him.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's like a cool. Like I like that part of the countdown. Honestly, is like, I think it. Like I'm X excited about this card, and now you're X more excited about this card. They can just bounce off each other.
Yeah.
I'm actually like I'm going up on fade after Rob had it so high because I forgot how good Dimension Door Ambush is.
Yeah.
Like, I've played Dimension Door Ambush happily, where it's a no-block attack that kind of has shitty stats, and I had to discard 2 cards from my hand to do it.
Yeah.
Like, this is just a 3-hit action that does it. That's a great block. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway. My number 1 card. Most excited, coolest, favorite, like, all the dimensions. Right now, it's my number 1 most excited thing. It's going to be $1 million on release, just like Gateway Shuffle. Fatality. So let me tell you how many lines of text are on this card. It's like 9 lines of text, right?
Yeah.
Keyword 3, then an ability that takes 2, then an ability that takes 2.
It's technically 8, but yes. It's 8
It's like
lines of
8,
text.
8 plus the keywords, right?
Oh, plus the keywords is 9, yes.
Yeah, so that shit doesn't matter. This card is 0 difficulty, triple infinity, 3 control, form, gain of momentum. As a bonus,
Yeah.
you get an enhanced step that your opponent can't fuck with.
Yep.
Because that's not nothing.
Yep.
Bonus, you get to remove your opponent's, you get to fuck the opponent's discard pile.
Yep.
And bonus of bonuses, if you're playing 4 of them and your opponent is an idiot, you kill them. But mostly, this is infinity symbol fast momentum.
Yeah.
And fast momentum is high. Like I've played Strength of Tail. I've been excited to put Strength of Tail in my deck to be this card, but an entire turn slower.
Yeah.
I played 4X Sweet Baby Challenge to be this card, but an entire turn slower. Like I've been like, oh man, I was thinking in my staging area, I'm gonna play another one and unique rule it just to get a momentum right now.
Yeah.
Well, at least just pick up what you check, man.
Yeah.
I have like my luck isn't always good. Like sometimes I just roll it. It's like rolling attacks. Oh well, get another momentum. Cool. Tap out to pass my fucking second challenge. Great. And what got really excited about this card is I'm playing a wall deck these days. It does some stuff. It plays some defense. It builds its big staging area. It does some cool shit. It relies on momentum, and it plays Surveyor as well. So it's very happy to have this card. And now with Fatality Eagle, you play Surveyor. You play this, get it back, rip out all the attacks from the discard pile, and then you race against time them. And it's just fucking counterspell.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it Power of the Edge, right?
It's like a better Power of the Edge, because not only does it discard it, it removes it from the entire fucking game. It's gone forever.
Yeah.
And like that's really quick. Like if you remove all the attacks in the discard pile from the game, and then they like draw their the last hand before they cycle, and it's got like 3 attacks in it, the game's just over if they don't kill you with it.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, when I played, I mean, I've played stuff where I'll just, attack, turn 2 or 3 or something, and they're just like, oh, well, can I see your discard? And you're like, yeah, and you're like, oh, I see that the only attacks that you've checked are 4 diffs, and that's a 5 diff, so race against time. And you're like,
yep.
Well, I guess that's, this was going to be a poke, but instead it just got deleted. So,
yeah, Marco here in town does that all the time. He race against times me all the time.
Yeah.
And if you don't play Race Against Time, you know what's a really good 6 difficulty attack in a deck that doesn't play any other 6 difficulty attacks? Vengeance of the Fallen Angel.
Yeah.
Oh, and they remove it themselves. They remove the other ones for you. How kind of them. So yeah, Fatality is really sweet.
Yeah.
If you ever played a missile launcher or a powerful attack or a multiple attack, and you've just been like, boy, I just don't quite have enough momentum. Well, I've got a 0 difficulty card that deals with Breaker for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing
that's
too.
A big thing.
Is this is like it's a little bit like Flash Lightning.
It's like Flash Lightning, but it doesn't deal damage, but it's way better.
Right. I think it depends. I think it depends on the deck, but
it's worse than Mature. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I mean, well, I think there were other things. I mean, the fact there were people that could put some damage on it, like Robot Man. Your old friend BB Hood.
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
I'll play this and put 1 damage on it, and Robot Masters, and you blocked it, and I'll play another attack, and then I'll know my ha 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 ha.
Flash Lightning. I forgot about Flash Lightning on my completely. Oh yeah, 2 Flash Lightnings. It's only a 3 diff now.
Because it was ranged too, so that you would play that, and then you'd be like, do I block this and get no mind, or do I not block this and get shield rammed? And no matter what you did, it was always wrong.
Yeah.
I played Nats, the Napalm Man Nats.
Yeah.
I played a game against Keenan where we were using one deck that we both drew from, that we both checked from, and both of us, we were basically playing a BB Hood mirror, where we were using the exact same deck to make checks, to draw from, everything.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, he beat me 4 times in 20 minutes. It was insane.
Yeah.
And Kevin's just sitting there, like, behind Keenan, just just shaking. He's like, "You're getting outplayed so hard right now." And I'm like, "We're making checks for the same deck. I block, I check a 3. He plays an attack, he checks a 5. Like, what am I supposed to do?"
That is called getting outplayed. It's like your opponent plays, like, Giggles outplays me all the time because he rolls nothing but 6s, and I just, like, break my draws and have no blocks in my hand. He just kills me. It's like, man, I got outplayed so bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think we probably had like 2 or 3 games where he had like the flash lightning, and every time I made the wrong call. I had one time he did something, and I think I like played I think I blocked it with like I think I might have blocked a shield ram with whatever the BB Hood thing is, Smile and Missile for like the Breaker 2, and then I think he had like another flash lightning, and then no-mind me, and I was just like, I was like, dude, I can't win. I was like, there was nothing wrong with my line of play, but like, he just had every answer.
He just had everything.
Yeah, like, honestly, guys, if you have an aggro deck, like, I bet this is really fun with Matt Burrow, too. Like, this is a fun format.
Are you kidding me? Like, get a momentum and mill 4? Sure.
Yeah. It's
why not?
Good. Yeah.
And remove something, because why not?
Your opponent's bunch of Judies, yeah.
Yep. So, I guess my number 1 pick, even though Fatality is, I think I'd have to agree with Kevin, maybe the most hypest card out of the set currently.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw my one local player, Trip Pants, a bone. I'm gonna say Scorpion, 1 dot, because he's a huge Scorpion fan, and
That's terrible.
Hey man, okay.
I think you mean Sub-Zero 1 dot.
Well, Sub-Zero's good too. I like them both.
No, your Sub-Zero, not their Sub-Zero.
Oh, what? Whatever. My Sub-Zero one. Yeah, whatever.
Sub-Zero is such a terrible design. Desperation characters are inherently flawed. Vitality cost has never been good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going on that again. But no, I honestly think that I know the desperation, seeing it, the desperation attack get 6 damage. That's kind of whoa. Like at first,
that's a little wide.
It's pretty crazy. Like I thought maybe 4 would have been fine. 4 would have been fine. But
well, I know. What I was sort of saying, like when I was like musing about it, I was like, why isn't this just your attack gets plus X damage where X is it's it's like you can make it like a desperation E or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, desperation E, your attack gets plus X damage where X is its desperation.
Yeah, that could have been
like,
it too.
Or desperation rating.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, there's a bunch that are desperation 4. They'd get 4. Like something what a Syndicate Slice would just get +2, but it doesn't matter. It's a 2-diff attack that's like coming in for 4 already. So
I also think that the cost should have been flipped on his top 2 E's. I think the lose 1 for +2 or -2 speeds a little light. I think
you want it to be lose 1 if they block, they lose 2.
Oh, I would rather have that than just spamming -1, dude. I know I'm crazy.
Get out of here. That like literally just means that he outvalues you out of the game.
Oh,
like,
does it? Okay, fine, fair enough.
Yes,
fair enough.
Because he loses 2, and then he's like, "I'll lose 1." You blocked it, you lose 2.
Well, no, you'd have to change it
to
you'd have to change it to like 1 vitality if he's losing 1. Make it a 1 for 1, but still, I still think the losing 1 for +2 -2 speed is just way undercosted in my opinion. But
the +2, sure. The -2, no.
Yeah,
I mean, isn't that what Vicious's Foundation does? Is lose a vitality for -2 speed?
Yeah. See, there we go. You got precedent right there, I guess. So, but not the +2 speed though.
Yeah, I mean the +2, like that's good. I mean, what was the Iori? He like lost equal to like its control, and it got that much speed or something. I don't remember.
I
don't remember.
Yeah, so Iori 2 paid X life X as a control.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he got that much speed.
Yeah.
Did you hear Chris saying that he wants like -1 to like if they block -2? I was like, that's bad math.
No, you'd have to change the vitality loss to like a pay 1 to burn 1 on block. I think so.
I will say I really like the desperation +6 damage to everything. It's like I get irritated when things say X on them for no fucking reason.
Yeah, true.
Like I think like I think Black Justice says like X maximum 2. It could just say
up to 2.
Pay 2. Like it's like if you pay X, if you pay momentum, you draw X cards. X is the momentum you spent up to a maximum 2. just say after you pay 2 or more momentum, draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
Like, don't make the 1 mode. Don't like the 0 mode doesn't exist. Just take the X out, make the card simpler, make it easier to read.
Yeah.
Like, just lower the comprehension complexity of the game because it's already high enough as it is.
I mean, I guess when it's like low numbers, I guess, but
Yeah.
I don't know. The thing is like the 6 just seems big. I mean, I just think it's like if it was 4, like it'd be whatever. You know, like it'd be good, but not like insane.
It'd be good. It'd be like Street Fighter good.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those Street Fighter characters that just handed out +4 damage. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like Guile.
Yeah.
Anything. I played against Guile that was playing no charge attacks.
I know. You did.
It was great. It was actually really cool. Like, it was a good deck. It was neat. And it was just fat damage on all of his throws. Scorpion can't put fat damage on any throws.
Except
Presumably.
Spider Suplex.
Spider Suplex.
That sucks. No, but he's very limited, and he's got to jump through a hoop, and I'm sure all of his cards are way better than anything else you play anyway, so he's not limited at all. But
I mean, you have 10 damage syndicate slices.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, whoever wanted to put +2 speed on the character, whoever had a character that gave +2 speed and was good with Coffee Sambo, like, that's ridiculous.
What, like Matt Burrow? I mean, he's a 6-hand. Like, here's the thing. He will have like some. He will have some 6-hand size problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. But I'm just excited to get the set.
About, like, 2 diff moves that deal 10 damage. Why not deal 11 damage with Sun X?
Yeah, it's also true. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, that's also 2 diff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
See?
Yeah.
Too bad the multiples aren't Desperation 2, right?
It's a travesty, to be honest. This deck gets multiple X and Sun X. The multiple copies get Desperation 2. Come on. Is it really that hard?
What was... Didn't Iori 1 have an attack like this? It was like a combo, and it like got plus damage equal to a Desperation rating in your card pool? I think it was his throw, right?
Yeah, so his throw was Desperation rating in your card pool, and he had an attack. He had his just claw attack.
That was the one that was removed, right?
That was the highest Desperation rating in your RFG file.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm thinking of the one that was a combo. It was it was with a T, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. That's what it reminded me of when I first saw it, just bigger.
So any honorable mentions, or Rob had tons of honorable mentions. So you got an honorable mention, Kevin?
First, honorable mentions. Let's talk about Sun God Choke.
Oh, okay. That almost made my list, and probably should have instead of a reptile card.
Holy stats, Batman!
Yeah, this card's awesome, man.
Like, you have to pass the 5 diff up front, and that's kind of rough. 5 diff is a lot. It's a lot more than 4, like Piercing Howl, and we all love Piercing Howl. But once you do, this takes it somewhat aggressive difficulty for the mere cost of some vitality. Who gives a shit? They're gonna die.
Yeah.
And then it's 8 damage.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Yeah. It's as rare too, right? It's as rare. Yeah, it's as rare. Yeah.
This can pump like choke throw, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Choke theme deck. I like it.
Yeah.
And because I mean, he can make this a throw, right? This is just like choke throw, but like not a throw yet. Sun God choke throw into choke throw.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
I mean, I guess you can play the first one, right? And then you make the next one a throw.
Yeah.
And use his R on it, and then you play the choke throw, and they're just like
you Sun God Choke first attack. You do all the E's to pay 4 life, right? So it goes to momentum. You code all E for 2 damage to this and 2 damage to the next, and you're not in desperation yet. But this goes to your momentum. Then you play your second Sun God Choke, and now you respond to give a throw. It gets 2 damage from the carryover, 2 more from Code E right now, 5 damage from the one near momentum. So that's 12. And let's say paying the 2 life on this one drops you to desperation. So that's 2 more from Kotal's desperation E. And now Kotal's gonna have a foundation that says it's gonna be Arrow to the Storm, plus X damage, X amount of life you've lost as enhanced step. Your opponent literally explodes into flames before the enhanced step's even over.
Oh man.
He did have a move like that in the game though, where he would call down the sun and burn people to death. He did that. He did have that. Yeah. Yeah.
I love it when like I just make shit up and then like they had the same idea and it's just awesome.
Yeah. I think he did a couple different things. He had one that I think lightning bolt, like kind of like Indian type stuff, where lightning bolt, and then one was like a beam of light, and I think
he's
he also
basically like an Aztec. Or
he's an
right?
Aztec. Yeah, and he also stood. He also got. I think if it burned your opponent, but if you walked into it with Kodal, it would heal him. So that was sick. Yeah, he's actually really good in the game. He's a fan favorite. Kotal Khan is.
And did I mention, by the way, that I'm excited about BB Hood with this set?
Yes, yeah, many a times.
Maybe once or twice.
Maybe I think I found our title for the episode, BB Hood OP.
Yeah, she's terrible, but
I know
she's hype.
But she's a fun. It's a deck. You gotta have decks like that that are just hyped to play, dude.
But just imagine you're Keenan Meadows, right? You're playing the same Bad Pro deck you've been playing for 6 years at this point. And someone shows up with BB Hood, like, did she rotate last week? No, that's next week. And then you say Mad Pro, you flip 4 cards at plus 1 speed. Fuck. Enhance with Big Shot Punch. Plus 2 damage. Plus 2 speed.
Power. Oh no! How will I count to 18?
and then you use LA.
And then they just blood magic your cats, right?
Yeah, fuck them.
My honorable mention is is Crawler from Devora. It's the 5/3 with a +0 low, 4 low 4 ally slam, cool static. While this card is in your card pool, breaker abilities cannot be played.
Yeah, I mean that does hurt you. I guess if you have breaker blocks, you play this first. Yeah. But it's much more about they are messing with your turn.
Oh, so. True. And then it has a sweet E4+. Your next check to play a card gets +1. And then it has an awesome deadlock E, because why not? Because everything deadlock is usually pretty awesome.
I mean, again, this is like stuff where it's like, this is a cool deadlock E for, well, also it's like, this is really niche.
Yeah. Attacks
and for symbols that don't have deadlock stuff.
I wish so badly. Why don't you read the ability first?
Deadlock E, attacks with printed 4 damage do not count towards progressive difficulty for the rest of this turn.
I wish so badly that this were an ability that was under your control. I wish that, like, because Deadlock, it's an ability like, to gate something off where you can't do it on turn 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
I wish it were like a momentum cost or somehow like if you have 3 4 decks in your card pool or something. Like, if your control check to play this card was at least 10, then go crazy.
Like you could easily made a different one of the things.
Like honestly, like if it was like discard 2 momentum or something, like
that's perfectly fine.
Like the issue, like what Kevin's sort of bringing up is some of the deadlock stuff is so ridiculous. Like stuff like missile launcher, stuff like Woodman's Leaf Shield, stuff like Fatality, Stage Kill. You know, these cards that are just like, I win, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like a lot, like pretty much all these decks are going to just be like, I'm not going to deadlock.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Honestly,
or they'll have ways to like
deck building right now is playing cards like Generous Gambler or God of War or a lot of cards with destroy cost on them, so that you can go to 8 foundations, 9 foundations, and not be stuck where you have to pass this turn with 4 cards in your hand because you can't go deadlock.
Yep.
Yeah. You want to be able to keep moving the game forward and making progress, and like ideally, like putting pressure on your opponent and making them expend resources by expending your foundations, so you can keep playing out better cards, or like sacrifice your face downs and your 0 diffs and whatever to turn them into better cards and have a stage game that's 10 great cards instead of 5 face down nothings and 5 good cards.
Yeah, I think the cool thing about this, I just like how the card, if you have to commit a card for the 5, you get a chance to kind of get it back by doing the 4+, which is pretty sweet. So it kind of pays for itself in a way if you commit one. So
like my thought on the deadlock card ability is just like you can't build your deck around this.
Yeah, you can't.
This is necessarily incidental because your opponents, if it's like a linchpin of your deck, you'll never do it. Your opponents will prevent you from doing it,
Yep.
and it's completely in their hands whether or not you get to do this really cool, awesome thing.
Was there ever a card, say pre-Jasco, that added foundations to your opponent's staging area?
One or two, I think.
Like,
it wasn't terribly common.
Do you think that, kind of getting off...
There's two in standard right now if your opponent is a lung.
In certain situations, yeah.
There's Lily, who, if your opponent is in an entirely face-down staging area, then she crams more cards into their staging area. And there's also Wiley's first terrain.
Oh, that's also true.
But that's
that's Wiley. Like, could you see maybe an action being printed that if your opponent's not going into, you can force them into deadlock on your, something like that?
I honestly can't imagine them doing that. I can't imagine that they take the direction that deadlock is gone right now. I can't imagine they would ever print a card that.
The thing is like deadlock. I feel like it's set up very much to punish people for doing things.
Yeah.
And if you're going to then make a card that basically punishes you for even getting close to it, it's like...
Fair enough.
Come on. It's like, the whole thing is just like, don't go above 10.
Yeah.
And now you're like, okay, cool, I stopped at like 9. It's like, ha, idiot. Cool, now you're at 11, dead.
Yeah,
like,
true. Yeah.
The thing is like, the whole point is like, deadlock is like the stick.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be the carrot.
Okay,
so.
Fair enough. It's just a thought that crossed my mind a couple days ago.
I think, if a lot of people made custom cards, I think you'd see a lot of that, because that's what we want to do. We want to build a deck that does, we want to play cards that tell a story. We want to have a deck that works, that does what we want it to do. And you see these deadlock cards, I think everyone's instinct is to go, ooh, how can I build a deck that actually makes this reliable?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But because they're making them so powerful, I remember when Woodman was a big thing. And people were like, yeah, you just play all this defense and force your opponent to a deadlock to kill you, then you just beat them to death with your deadlock cards. The fear was always that deadlock would enable, powerful effects, period, would enable people to play wall decks. And to play a deck that's plan A is to exploit the powerful effect.
It worked for like 2 tournaments, right?
Yeah.
With Woodman doing really good, and then people went, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And then they stopped going to deadlock, and he's dropped off the face of the earth.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
It's not because people figured out how to do deadlock and all that stuff. It's actually because I picked him in the character draft first pick. And that instantly turns the lights out on any character.
Oh, wow. You heard it here first, folks. You don't play Woodman.
Did you pay attention to Yamato Man last year?
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
He was everyone had a Chaos Yamato Man. It was their cool fun deck that was actually pretty good. Wheel and Steel was all over the fucking place. And there were water decks too.
Yep.
And then a light.
Yep, just went off, yeah.
Turned off, unplayable, unplayed.
Now we talked about our top cards. So the one character that I hope that I'm going to talk about Cassie for a second, because her foundation, I need to see the rest of her support.
Her foundation is not good.
No, it's not. And
her foundation is a worse, whatever that Tomahawk Man one is.
Yeah. Clear Cutter? Yeah.
Yeah. Because it counts to progressive.
Yes.
What?
I just I don't get, was this a problem? I know we talked about this on Discord, that was she too good in testing?
The rumor was, and I don't know, someone said that they heard this from somebody.
Yeah, whoever heard this, heard this from
18
Santa and all that
times
stuff.
removed.
Yeah.
That originally she got +1/+1 for each card that preceded it, and it was too good.
Yeah.
So she gets +1 speed or +1 damage for each.
Yeah.
But she, even as she is, she already looks like hoops to jump through, because it's each preceding. So even cards like Ulrich's card that's add something and seal it, that's no good, because it adds the foundation. If you want to add a foundation, it adds it after the attack.
Well, you have to play that one card that rearranges the card pool.
What, the brother figure or whatever it is?
And now we're jumping through 14 hoops.
Yep, exactly. 14 hoops.
That's the thing, is she's like the other character along with Ermac, where it's just like we need to see the support to just judge if this character's playable. Basically,
I'm hoping that she gets kind of like an over the top foundation or something, or maybe.
But that's the thing is like she has over the top, except she can't play it. She doesn't have any of those symbols.
But like, could you see Champion of Southtown 2.0 being reprinted for her? Like, not exactly word for word, but that would be maybe something.
I mean, that's sort of the funny thing is like. She works amazingly well with Terry cards that she will push all out of standard.
Yeah.
She can still play Throw It Down, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. That's true. I don't know. Like, she's one of my favorite characters from X, so it's just... I have to see the rest of her support.
Yeah, I mean, like, what is it? It's like a Desperation R or something?
Yeah, destroy after your opponent's combat phase begins. Seal... one of their assets or foundations. So it's asset hate, but I think I'd rather play Hacker Extraordinary.
That's okay, but it's also Desperation R after the combat phase starts. So it's just like if you're already in Desperation when their combat phase is starting, and that's the thing is like it's not even when they play an attack. So you might be like, oh god, like seal that, and they're like, cool, build 2, like what's up?
Yep.
Yeah. It's like I'm going to buy this turn, and then I'm going to I'm going to pass turn to you. I'm going to be clinging on for dear life, and I just need one more turn to win because hopefully I'm playing a bunch of throws or unblockables or some shit. Because otherwise, what am I doing?
I just don't get her right now.
Stay on the deadlock.
I guess, yes. But her one ability is kind of neat where you get to fish for a foundation. That's kind of cool, but
but that's still
look at your top 3, put it back in the order. That ability, I didn't realize how good UFS House was until 3 years into my development as a player. They can put Arcus Amers on top of your deck. And draw the attack.
I mean, what do you do when you have when you have 3 attacks on top of your deck?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I guess I can choose the order in which I check these 3s.
Yeah.
Then you can enhance with Coffee Samba.
I think I don't know. I just look at her character and I'm like, there's half a dozen different ways that I feel like you could have tweaked it and made her better without making her too good. I think basically if she discarded the top 3 and then it was you could add a foundation to your whatever, and then the other ones went on the top or the bottom. Kind of like Jeremy Ray's character, where he would look at it and he was like,
he can move
I can either play this or I can put it on the top or the bottom or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's if it's a bunch of attacks and you're like, man, I don't have a way to draw it and I don't want to check these. I need to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do?
I'm reminded of a bunch of years ago. Some of the people I played Magic with at the local games store, I was I dragged for a whole summer because I really loved Rise of the Eldrazi. And people were telling me if a creature doesn't have square stats, it's a 3/2 instead of a 3/3, that either means it's insanely good or insanely bad, because it means that someone in R&D was paying attention to it and had to tweak it.
Oh, okay.
And this isn't true anymore at all.
Yeah.
Because they've gotten this was 2007 or something. Whenever Rise of the Eldrazi happened to get rid of it. But it was basically true then, and I think that feels true for UFS too. If R&D was paying attention to a card and either nerfed it or buffed it, it's likely that either is too good or that it's not good. They nerf batted it and now it's below the level of the typical character who wasn't so closely attended to.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And maybe that'll be proven false. Maybe the good in Earth symbols, because I think that Johnny Cage is in the same category where the rumor is that he used to add them ready and that was too much. And both these characters share with Jets cards, and Jets cards are all fucking nuts.
Yeah,
so,
that's also true.
If they keep getting more, if they get support that's as good for them as Jet support is for Jet, and also as good in general, then it will go somewhere.
I think part of the disappointment for that card, for the cast card for me, is that it was a foundation, and she's only going to have 4 of those total, and so the fact that this is one of them, you're just I hope the other 3 are something good, because man.
I can understand the artist maybe to limit the R destroy. like have a top card of your deck go face down to replace it, because that's rough, man. That's a rough cost just to seal something and just.
I mean, isn't it? It's like a 1/5, isn't it?
It's a 1/5 with a +2 high block. Yeah, it has decent stats, but man, that ability.
But the thing is, like, right? It's like a desperate. It's effectively blank.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess like, but that
no,
thing is like,
it has
like, here's the
ally.
thing: if it said something where it's like, if it somehow like didn't, you know, if it had the static for Lone Wolf, where it's like it didn't count progressive for attacks or something,
yeah.
like sure,
yeah,
you know, then it effectively would be the one that's like the one that I want clear cutter.
Yeah,
you know, something, but like, man, like. It's just, I don't know. We'll see.
It's the only character I'm sad about. The rest of the characters I think are all pretty nice. It's just Cassie. I'm just disappointed. Just damn. Yeah. Maybe they'll prove me wrong with her outrageous support.
I mean, shoot, if it was like didn't count to like your attacks, like that would be a great thing to like lead in to block with for flash kick for Guile.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be like, oh man, it's a 5-diff reversal, but that's okay because I blocked with a +2 high that doesn't count. So
yeah,
who knows? We'll see.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we'll see. That's the story of
the
set, really.
So overall thoughts in general so far. I mean, like, are you guys excited for the set? Does these spoilers make you more excited, less excited?
So I know when I read Goro, I shit my pants, and I haven't stopped shitting my pants since then.
Yeah.
It's a nonstop flow.
Do you need to get you a bag, Kevin?
It will help.
I don't know if they're gonna let you on an airplane, dude.
I know, right?
And I think that the individual card spoilers, like, I appreciate a lot of designs. I don't know, like, it's. I remember when Blood Omen was getting spoiled, and I thought the sky was falling with every third card they spoiled. Like, Combo Banner's going to ruin the game, blah, 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 blah. And it was fine. It was good. It was a good set. And Bebop was like that, turned up to 11. And this set feels like I definitely believe this set is more likely than not to land in the same ballpark as Bebop.
Yeah.
And it's going to be exciting and powerful and compressing the metagame even further. Hopefully it doesn't compress the metagame completely like Bebop did, and that like it can coexist with the Bebop decks, but maybe not. So
I think that's what they're hoping, that the design, you know, now that we got 2 sets in, every set we go in, it's going to be more of there's going to be more variance instead of just Bebop topping all the time. So we'll see.
The dream is that like they make 10 sets like Bebop, and then every single character, like then Asphalt and Katarina are still topping events. One out of every 4 events.
Yeah.
It like still has like Ed 9 and Med Pro still topping, even though like Quan Chi's
nuts.
Quan fucking Chi, dude. I forgot about that guy.
I am really excited for this set because this is the set that I was looking forward to, 3 years ago. But I get it, man. I get it. Things happen, but
I'm gonna play so fucking.
I know,
zero.
dude. It's nuts. My second gripe is that Johnny Cage is a 5-hander and he's a dad bod, but I get it because it's in canon with the game, so whatever.
Dad bod for the UFS dad.
Yeah, I don't play 5-handers, man. I'm not Rio.
They made that character
Rio.
For you and Rio. Okay?
I'm not Rio tough, man. I'm not Rio tough. I play more female characters than I do guy characters. Just can't help it.
Chris, this is an opportunity for you to reclaim the card to have your drop.
Oh, wow.
And to assert that you are in fact a father and not a mother to your daughters.
The mom's Scott, though. We've already determined that UFS mom's Scott, so. But
terrible.
Whatever.
Well,
it is. Yeah.
Maybe you're gonna have to switch roles here.
Oh no.
Scott hates 5-handers, so.
Yeah.
I'm not. Don't play the same game. It's like, yeah, they just lose.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. But no, I'm looking forward to the meta shifting, if hopefully for the better. So that's my hope, and I know that.
I mean, I think everyone is.
I know, and I think, and talking with Jason and Shane a few times, that's what they're thinking too. That people are going to gravitate and towards Mortal Kombat characters. Like the veteran players are going to have more fun with the Mortal Kombat guys because they're a little more intricate. They're not, other than like Reptile, they're all not as straightforward. Here, I dug it myself for you guys. There you go. They're not as
Bebop.
Compared to Bebop, yeah. Because Bebop's just like mash A button, do a couple cool things, and then add, punch and Judy, and all that stuff. But it seems like Mortal Kombat seems more intricate. Just more going on. The characters seem more interesting, I should say, I guess, other than just like, well, discard that from my card pool. Discard that from my card pool, play this giant move, okay, it passed. So.
I honestly, I'm gonna reserve judgment until I see the set.
Sure.
I like my
you could
first
still be
impression is
hyped for
spoiled,
it.
huh?
You could still be hyped for it, though. You can reserve judgment, but you could still be excited.
I reserve hype until I see the set. I mean, like, I guess, like, the first, because I think the first card that got, like, this guy just popcorn out of nowhere. Like, I think the first card that got spoiled was was the Black Magic Hex Curse, right?
Yes.
That was the Lubbock store, right? They're like, also, we may have mentioned this on the one thing, I don't remember, but for the big card spoilers, like, that was a little bit hit and miss.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that at all.
And, like, it was nice, the stores that did get it out. I mean, the stores that got it out, like, that was cool. Like, some of them did some cool stuff with it. There were other stores that, like, didn't do it at all.
Are we still missing, like, 5 cards?
We still, I don't know if they posted it at all, because I stopped checking out their site after it got posted.
Yeah.
And that sort of just seems like a missed opportunity. It's kind of too bad. But, yeah, the Lubbock store, whoever, I don't know if anyone from there watches this. I don't know if they care, but good on you guys.
They were like at 12:01.
Like, stroke of midnight, they were just like, boom, here it is. And it's just like, thank you. Thank you. Like, we appreciate this.
I waited till after I got off of work to do mine.
Yeah, well, you're a jerk. So.
I know. And I did tease this during the day, so that's why I am. I'm a tease.
But yeah, so that's the first card that came. It's like the first card that comes out is just like 8 damage, unblockable, and I was just like, oh my god.
Welcome.
I'm just like, like, are we really doing this again?
Can I say, on that topic, I love the alternate win conditions they made, and specifically, I love that they're not actually good.
Yeah. So
I'm actually a good attack, actually a good card. Like, it's completely worth the one check as much as any one check they've printed. Like, it's like righteousness tier good.
Mm-hmm.
And it wins the game, and it's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Brutality, stage kill, fatality, they say win the game on them, or they say, like, 3 damage unblockable, your opponent can't do anything, and they only work through their 3. Like, awesome. They're great. Like, they're flavorful, they're cool, they evoke what Mortal Kombat is, and they aren't so good that you can build your deck around them. They aren't, like, the reason you put them in your deck. Like, you put them in your deck to stage kill people or whatever.
I mean, I can see brutality in Codal because it can't be reduced.
Yeah.
So, like, that's... And, like, if he makes it a throw that can't be reduced, and he's got, like, your Sun God chokes and stuff, he can make it, like, 1 billion damage, and that's fine. But yeah, I don't think there's gonna be too many people that are winning with brutality unless it's like a spike deck that's already just blowing you away with Vengeance of the Fallen Angel, and all of a sudden, like, if you're at like 9, it's a problem.
And but what you just said, and like I think the consensus opinion on fatality is that the power level is in enabling mill decks more so than anything else. Like, they say win the game, and that's a small fragment of, like, you still have to be creative with it. They have triple infinity symbol, and they don't go in every deck. Like, they avoid a lot of mistakes and a lot of pitfalls with those cards, and I think they're really cool, and I really like them.
Stage Kill is kind of weird to me, that it's like triple infinity, and then the pit is what gets it back, and that's like fire, death, and whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess, like, that's one thing. So I guess I've, like, come a little bit back off the edge. Like, a lot of those cards that were in the video, I was like, I guess that was the thing, is I was like back and forth. So, like, first thing is like Black Magic Hex Curse that's like unblockable, 8 damage, and it's just like, sure.
It's kind of exploding.
Some of the I guess, like, there were, I'm trying to think of like what some of those other like day one things. Honestly, like the Reptile one, and you're just like, dude, Reptile's already ridiculous, and it's like this is, what the hell is this? Like, some of these cards, like, Yeah, you just see these like 4 diffs that are just like 1 billion damage, and like I'm still wary of that. I still think that a lot of the numbers are higher than they need to be. I mean, I guess maybe now it's not higher than they need to be because Bebop's in standard.
Is it high enough to kill Spike 1? I don't know.
But see, I guess that's the thing, is that's been thrown around as a thing of like, well, what am I going to do about? And it's like, look, like basically what you're saying is Spike 1's a problem, and I don't think anyone disagrees with that. Like Spike 1 probably shouldn't have been printed as is, and if you're going to like then start designing cards around the power level of an outlier character, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're going to further invalidate anyone that was like fringe because you're designing to a baseline that like almost nobody's at. And that's sort of like how you keep pushing until you're like completely just invalidating even more stuff.
I don't think that's I think that's the concern. That's like the power creep, treadmill or whatever, where you just have to keep making each step better than the last set. I was even kind of pointing at like that. I was saying, yeah, like we're putting characters with good defense now, so you need to have you need to have a balance of offense and defense in your cards. And like I remember when Bebop came out, like we were all cracking our pants over Allophobia and Gateway Shuffle and everything, and I kind of realized like, I think the best cards in this set are the spam foundations that reduce speed. Like I know Jeremy has been on the record. Like every time he does a tournament report, he says, "Yeah, Fei is the best card in my deck. It's like the best card in Bebop. Is this 1/5 speed reduce card?"
Yeah.
And like it's not even about killing Spike. It's about killing people who have Fei in their deck and prepare to fight. It's about killing people who are playing Reptile and just DRing people and rolling their face on their keyboard.
Hey man, I'll take it. It's fine. I'll take it.
And so like, and I'm kind of reminded that Scott says Spike Handlers are playing a completely different game from everyone else. Like that's what they want. They want people to be playing different games from each other, and yet to still have them interact in the same kind of dimensions. And say, yeah, like you can play a discard deck that then finds how to deal 1 million damage to your opponent's board, but then that gets kind of trumped if they play a ton of speed and damage resets or whatever, or a ton of card draw. And like there's different ways to attack and defend, and they're pushing the power level not just of the offense but of the defense as well.
I feel like the defense. So there were things. I mean, overly dramatic sort of jumps out as the biggest one from Bebop, but. There's definitely some pieces in this between invoking blood magic, return to Antarctica or Arctica or whatever it is.
That was one of my honors too, especially when it's an arc.
Yeah. It's much better as an arc.
There was this. I think there was something else.
Cuban spaghetti.
Yeah, pretty much.
5 counterspell. Yeah.
And like having some cards like that, that's nice. Like. I mean, I played this weekend. I mean, I played a troll deck, and it was like I was running 4 copies of Rescue Mission, and like I don't know, just like Survivalist, whatever that Chun-Li thing is, like that sets damage to 1 or to 0 if they're
Angela one.
Yeah, and like some of this other stuff, and it was just nice. To basically just be able to even like when I'm just staring down like like a bunch of Bebop attacks, just be like, nah, like maybe I'll block this, maybe I won't. Like fuck you, like now, like that
not a big deal.
Yeah. So like I don't think we need like a ton of it, and I guess maybe that's sort of like the balance of like the deadlock is. That okay, sure you can run these cards, but if you run too many of them, like
if you build a deck that's just one-dimensional lane, then here are some tools to help people who aren't necessarily like playing the most perfectly optimized Mad Pro decks with good draws be able to beat you.
Yeah.
Deadlock's I don't know. Deadlock's still weird. There's a weird in between where you want cards with Deadlock to be good. Without the deadlock, because if you're like again, like we sort of said, if you're building like if you're putting a card in a deck because you're like, man, this deadlock is awesome, like you might as well not play it, because if that's what your deck needs to win, like, your opponent's just going to go, wait, like, okay, I'm at 10 and I'll just review, like, or I'll like play like an attack or something and sit here and I'll block with foundations and whatever. I'll never go to 11.
I think that a good card like that, a good example would be like ISSP Execution, because it has a deadlock effect that's amazing, but it also has 2 good other effects on that card by itself.
Yeah, or like we talked about Sharpshooter.
Yeah,
right?
Sharpshooter's another one. Yes.
Like, there's definitely been decks where, like, you would just play all the speed bumps you can and just try to, like, speed bump your opponent out of the game. And if you put Sharpshooter in that deck, you wouldn't be completely outrageous, but you might be disappointed when your opponent stays out of deadlock.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the thing, is, like, you want them to be, I think you want them to be playable and, like, at least tempting. But, like, I also think that you don't necessarily want the deadlock to just be, like, absolutely bananas. Like, because that's, we've sort of talked about this, at least, in private, that one of the issues with deadlock is that it really just, like, punishes, like, fair decks that have bad draws. If you're just, like, playing something where you're, like, especially, like, casually, if you're just, like, I'm just trying to have, like, a good time, and, like, I'm playing these, like, I drew a bunch of foundations, and I want to get them out of my hand, and I went to, like, I built to 12, and I don't have a bunch of destroy effects because I'm not trying to win a tournament. I'm just trying to, like, play my favorite character. And then you just get, like, missile launched for, like, 10 billion damage with, like, stun 50. And you just go, okay, well, my opponent checked a 5, and I lost.
Like, that shit tilts me so bad.
I remember our first Bebop draft, I was playing against Giggles. And at some point, I think we both knew that the other person had at least one ISP Execution in their hand, and also we were both just drawing a ton of foundations, and just, like, we're both at 10 foundations and just staring at each other. I'm like, I guess I'm gonna pass. I guess I'm gonna play my other attack, and hopefully I can fail this foundation after I do that. Oh, you breaker me, thank you. Okay, play a foundation, fail it, go. Like, it was terrible. It was completely awful, and that's the first thing that deadlock does. And then it's, like, second and third order effect of, like, it's like this fun dynamic game that you build your deck to be able to play, like, to be able to, like, have God of War and just stack foundations for no reason to stay out of deadlock. To, like, there's fun in it because, like, UFS is a good system that's a lot of things happen and you can adapt to stuff. But until you get to that level, it just fucking sucks.
Yeah. And it depends on what it is, too. Because, like, even, like, ISSP Execution, I mean, it depends what the deck's in. I mean, obviously, like, if it's something like Coffee Samba, it's just like, okay, like, I'll pick up Coffee Samba and let's go.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the thing is, like, even, like, a smattering of deadlock, like, some of that is still just going to be, if somebody is, like, absolutely, like, dedicated to just being, like, a wall deck, they don't care.
Yeah. A lot of deadlock abilities scale, like, they scale up, like, they get a big power boost at 10 cards. But by the time you get to 20, 25 cards in their staging area, they don't matter.
They don't matter at all. Yeah.
You know how you beat Missile Launcher? If you think 10 foundations isn't enough, or if it has a bunch of momentum, you just go to fucking 30 foundations. Yeah, stun 5, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. That's a sixth of my staging area.
Oh, it's really fast? Like, I have speed resets that you didn't stun.
Yeah. All right, so I think we're about an hour 20, maybe. I don't know. I haven't been really keeping track. So, but anywho, so hope to see you all in Rockford. I know you two are showing up Friday. Kevin will be here way earlier than Rob, and we'll be having way more fun than you.
Well, I feel like sleeping in.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's going to be a lot harder to miss a flight that leaves at like noon than it will be to leave at like 5 a.m.
I don't know about that one. I don't know.
Well, as a person who has missed a flight to Chicago,
left
at like 5:30 or 6.
That's also true. Yeah,
I can assure you,
leaving at 5:30 instead of like 2:30 in the morning.
Well,
actually, I think my flight was at 5:30. So
that's what we did on the way back. Well, the wait at the Rochester airport is slightly less than the wait at BWI, Kevin. I've dropped someone off 5 minutes before their flight left at Rochester, and they made their flight.
That's insane. That's pretty good.
It was a guy. It was a guy. It was a guy in school.
Okay.
I don't think he even took his stuff. I think it was literally like woke up and was like, oh my god, like my flight. We were somewhere and he was like, my flight leaves in 15 minutes, and it took like 7 to 10 minutes to like get to the airport, and he somehow managed to get through security to his gate. I basically was just like, well, send me a text if you get to your gate and it's open, and otherwise, like, I'll head home and text me if you need me to turn around and pick you up. And, and he's just like, I'm on my plane, I'm good.
I'm used to getting to O'Hare like 2.5 hours early because it's O'Hare, and I usually wait for 2 hours. I usually, I get through security in a half an hour.
When you show up at the right time, you then spend an hour and a half at your gate going,
that's what I did.
Why did I do this?
That's what I always do. And then when you
show up when you're like, this should be enough time, right? They're like, idiot.
Yep.
Like,
I always show up.
TSA pre-check is something you should get.
I heard about that. I think you said that last time I saw you. That TSA pre-check is the best.
Really like it.
Is the best. So, gentlemen, in closing, Rob, you get the bed downstairs. Everyone else has to fight.
If I want it.
If you want it, you can sleep on the air mattress with Thomas if you want. I don't care.
I do not want.
But yeah, so hope to see everybody there. You guys travel safe. And I got nothing else to say other than say goodnight. So you guys got anything in closing other than goodnight?
Nope.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, I got nothing.
We'll see you all in Rockford, hopefully, and make it like the giant and the most hypest PTC of all time, because it is the greatest PTC in the world. That's just not me just saying it either. But anywho, all right. Good night,
Chris. If you want Rockford to be the greatest PTC in the world, you need people to be able to listen to this Rockford PTC introduction before the Rockford PTC, so get the shit up on SoundCloud.
Yeah, it will. It will. I'll get on that now. I got 45 minutes before I have to get to bed, so. Hey, we got this. All right.
You don't have work tomorrow, do you?
Yeah.
Why do you have to go to bed?
I have to work tomorrow?
What?
Yes.
USA.
All right, I'm stopping the recording. Good night.
It's not the 4th of July without
Good night, everybody.
Ebola, right?